every morning with truth in our hands. No more silence, we take a stand. For the people who cry for the dreams that fade, we speak for the hearts that justice betrayed. Radio True Media
on FM 103.9.
Radio True Media
on FM 103.9.
Now we voice, now we power. True Media go shine like tower. We no go fear, we go talk. Even if they know how make we talk. True Media Radio on FM 103.9.
Now God we dey Friday, not true we dey preach. Freedom of speech, now that we dey teach.
For Salon, we go stand tall. Radio True Media,
one voice for all.
We honor the land, the struggle, the fight. We shine a light in the darkest night, because we believe in hard work and faith to Sierra Leone way. We hold the line, come what may.
Them one set we more them, but we go shout. Now the poor man voice we they bring out.
Now we alright for know the truth. Now that make we go protect the truth.
Truth began more than neglect anyone.
We are the voice, we are the flame. Truth will rise, they'll know our name. We are the truth and nothing else.
Truth they get, we know they play.
Now for Salon, we declare the way. Tune in every day to
Truth me get radio.
3.9.
Truth me get radio.
3.9. Radio True Media. Radio True Media. Radio True Media. Radio True Media. Radio True Media.
On FM 103.9.
This is Truth Radio, 103.9 FM. We empower the nation.
Mina Yusuf Jallo, the Cowfoot Prince, and you they listen to Truth Radio on 103.9 FM live from Freetown. Natu de las.
Nyabone sawo matonya yepe gwagwagbo ela we. Tonya yepe gwagwo ela ngatu ayagbo ngeza wato minani FM we. Tonya ye pe gbogbo wo era menga tu ya gbo ngwesa wa to mi na ni efe. Ta menga tu tonya ye pe gbogbo wo era we. Anya buda tonya ye mi aloma. Tonya ye le mi amome. Yabo le jagbe yan le jati yan le dwe mi do yan gongo lo tonya ye pe gbogbo wo era we. Mi atanu isi vena. Number of me driver. Nyabura je peguru abo mi wabido tonya ye pegwo kwa boela. Amiaga tole apapa go titalo ba pepe ne beda penegbe nugo ma o aye gbogbe chawa to mi na ni FM ne ma. Yami bede mo kini mo. Yade kini mo ni da keza me bi lo to me gbo. Amiaga pinga ayo nyabole se wo ma to yan ye pe gbo era we tonya ye pe gbo era nga tu aya gbo ngbe wa to mi na ni FM we tonya ye pe gbo wo era menga tu aya gbo ngbe wa to mi na ni FM ta menga tu tonya ye pe gbo era we anya buda tonya ye mi aloma tonya ye le mi amome Yabo le jagbe yan le jati yan le dwe mi do yan gongo lo tonya ye pe gbo era we mi atanu isi vena number abo mi driver nyabura je peguru abo mi wabido tonya ye pe gbo era Amiaga tole apapa go titalo ba pepe ne beda penegbe nugo ma o aye gbogbe chawa to mi na ni FM ne ma. Yami bede mo kini mo. Yade kini mo ni da keza me bi lo to me gbo. Amiaga pinga
It's a beautiful country. It's beautiful people.
Beautiful country with beautiful people indeed. Many thanks to Lala CDB for always reminding us every other weekday morning that this country is a beautiful country with beautiful people. A certain sound of Lala City Bay with the Kora. Good morning and welcome. Hope you had a good night, rested well, and possibly you didn't also this morning just like we, or you ready for go now you hustle, you ready for go work, you ready to picking them for go school. Maybe you didn't bed, you just wake. The place is clear now very early, man. I just watch the window just so, and I see 6:30, the weather don't clear up. So I'm sure you window lights go they come inside the room if you're still in bed. But good morning and thanks for joining us, whether you're listening to us through Radio FM 103.9 and through we partner radio stations across the country, or you watch you on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Good morning and thanks for joining us this morning. Beautiful people, beautiful Sierra Leonean. It is a pleasure always for for start the morning with we as early as 6:30, and it's a blessing for able to sleep and wake. And as always, we tell God thank you for we life and pray that He continue for give you the energy and strength for able to come here for continue for do this work. We pray that you yourself continue for get the energy and strength for do with we every other weekday morning. You know, as we discuss things same we get for do with national issues. We talk to ourselves about our roles and responsibilities as citizens of this country, waiting we for do right and waiting for left for doing a wrong thing and pushing salon go before, because nobody no ever can make this place. No one else, if it not Sierra Leoneans. No one is gonna come and make here. It us. Now we the people. Now we get power. Now we get influence. Now we in our political parties. Now we the contest election. Now we in the civic space. Now we in a private sector. Now we in a public service. It's us. Where people in the camp and they call them expatriates, foreign nationals. Now we get moral guarantors. You know. Since I religious council pulled a statement yesterday, it's interesting. You know, we can read and to now. Religious council actually pulled a statement yesterday. I think it was late evening now because the telling me it was after 4 p.m. They've made certain statements, then call out, you know, the statement them way politicians and they make, they say divisive statements, inciting statements, you know. Yeah. Well, maybe someone is listening, but I think Interreligious Council should, like many other institutions, shouldn't be too reactive. You know, forget the system usai. You know, we Interreligious Council, we traditional, we Council of Paramount Chiefs, for able to bring we political leaders them come together. You know, for able initiate things them way go make politicians they understand say then get a very critical role for playing at this country. You know, where you get power, you get 8 or so million people who depend on you, including the one that wanna vote for you. They all depend on you for make things better. Not to follow everybody get job, not to follow they give everybody tip, but for they create the conducive atmosphere, the infrastructure for let people in lives them better, let people and get job, let people and live a dignified life, social services, the economy run well, you know, and all of that. So I can read the statement from the Interreligious Council, and possibly we will talk to Reverend Usman Jesse Fona, the Secretary General of the Interreligious Council, for look at them, position them on them tier. Do we wait until something happen and come out with a statement? How do we get the Interreligious Council for able to mediate and create dialogue between we political class? Because we're in a very religious tolerant country, and every other politician, all the politicians the way they see and get them spiritual leader them. They belong to church. Now the good thing and they no more power, you know, get politician the way, then they fear God, and they fear God. And if we're God, we all live with God, even though so my action and inaction, you can doubt, you know, if well I got me padding can say the people who can see they pray too much are they afraid, because they get the tendency for do more bad than other thing. Yeah, but religion for guide we, you know, religion is a guide from things that way wrong, you know, for make you fear and understand, say, anything you do in this world, there is the hereafter, which you go get account of. But yeah, like I was saying, every other politician, we all get we religious leaders them, we get we spiritual leaders them, we go to church, we go to mosques, we get chiefdom, they will come out, we get to paramount chief them, we get to tribal heads them. So which is why, the institutions and they not for be politicized. They should be institutions them way for able bring, we all together, especially with political class. Then for be an institution when they put out a statement, people then for sit up straight. So no, now we religious leaders them. Now then they talk with one voice. So that is why them institutions and they, like I said, I don't talk to the people them way been there since we them found them. That was the idea of it. How they go serve as a watchdog to with society, not only in politics but every other aspect. So we not go lost with moral values. We not go also forget say we all get a responsibility for sustain with peace, for ensure say we practice democracy in the right way and good governance. But it's good they've come out of the statements, and hopefully we will get the NIR for discourse further. But good morning, everyone, and welcome. It is always a blessing and a pleasure for getting on at the program every other weekday morning. A very good morning to His Excellency the President, the First Lady, with security officers, the police, the military, the firefighters, the correctional service officers, with traffic wardens as well, with teachers, with doctors, with nurses. Very good morning to them, and all the people where they provide services for we in this country. Good morning to we drivers, we keke, we Okada riders. Good morning to you all and welcome. And good morning to you with you this morning, wherever you are, to people in Tongo, people in Apujem, people in Kailaung, Cambia, right across the country in Freetown and the western area rural. Me mande na lunge, yeliboya, una morning. And me mande obafunkia. Godrich, I've been there with somebody with a Godrich over the weekend, and he was telling me, that place they imagine how parents them, they allow, they know, then sabi side and they sell the drugs, then sabi the people who they sell the drugs, then sabi who then they bring and come, you all sit and watch, una picking them, people and they destroy una picking them, una sabi them, una they see them, just for sense of a small money. Una they see how people in life then they change and then community then they una they see, but una not they hold them accountable, and they hold them accountable, But some man can give you information at corner. But I keep saying, that community there, you get aid man, you get youth leader. The other day them be the faithful land day. I remember them call me the youth man, and then call me then they complain. Say somebody want go take the land. You get youth leader, you get imam there, you get pastor there. You get chair lady. What you wanna they do? Una they sit down people them they make money over una picking them, they destroy them. Yeah, I know the one that they make money now other people them picking them as well. But you just don't sit and watch and act like it's normal. Una for able to mobilize at community level, engage the police. The way that community they notorious about drugs business, man. It's so normalized, in normal. That's people then they see them as normal something. Destroy on picking in future. Now they see you, now they watch, you don't care. They are pretty and some of the things that they happen back now them place and they should imagine how would they take responsibility, would they take leadership, where the councillor, where the member of parliament, where they represent that district there. But people they act normal. People, we can do it best. Much, with all the risk we involve. Well, actually, the person who been to talk to me was telling me how he was there. Someone was saying, "Me no get nothing for talk about now. Drugs me they put much bar." Well, they make some threatening remarks. So the person me and get for seeing he was explaining to me and all of that in confidence. But yeah, then threats and they come almost always. We get them. People and they will they send message through people can threaten we and all of that. Well, all we can do is to sit here and talk and bring it to the attention of the authorities, the public, and all of it. Una waiting at the community then they, if una not take action, una not see say it's destroying your kids. We cannot do more than what we're doing now, what we've been doing, raising awareness, raising alarm, and calling on the authorities them for enforce, other than una waiting at the community them for take action. But let us pray this morning. We pray for ourselves, we pray for the country, we pray for our leaders them, we pray for them bad people them wicked and bad people them. Not only in politics, but even in with society, where they pan drugs, where they peddle drugs and this. Several reports they show how this place is being used as transshipment hub, how drugs they pass now. But we saw no care and no concern. It looked normalized. We still get Josh is in salon, no police. For me, police say then they defend and they investigate and go update the public. 30 days, bruh. 30 days. It's like no one cares. We don't hear about kidnapping. We all day hear the news about drugs. And the thing we're worrying about drugs. If we allow this place to be a hub, a cartel, we all life then they are at risk. We all they see what's in the happen in other country them. But we can make like we not care. We can make like we anyways, Lord pray. Lord no forever pray. Lord pray this morning. Lord seek God in guidance and in blessing our life. When they come back, we're going to take the pledge and anthem. We'll take this day in history. History lesson with Joseph Kaifala of the Monuments and Relics Commission. Continue for stay with we. Let us pray.
Bismillah, salatu salam ala rasulillah. نحمد ونستعين ونستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. We recognize Allah as the master, as the provider, and as the greatest of judges. We ask Him for protect we as we don't protect one day before we. We ask Him for guide we as we don't guide one day before we. We ask Him for make we stand for the truth as we don't help other people in the past for stand for the truth. We recognize Him, say na in na the master, na the giver, na the protector, and we will continue to recognize Him until the day we go meet Him. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا أتمم لنا نورنا لا بعد إذ هديتنا إنك لا كنت الوهاب. اللهم رب العزة عما يصفون الصلاة والسلام على المرسلين وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.
This nation unto you, O God, according to your word in the book of Proverbs chapter 21 verse 1. He said the king's heart and the hands of the Lord as the rivers of water. He directed it wheresoever he will. O God, you will direct, you will twist and control the hearts of the leaders of this nation, O God, to work effectively, to work appropriately, to work accordingly with your will towards the people of Sierra Leone in the name of Jesus Christ. Papa, you shall do, oh God, a new thing in this nation, oh God. Papa, I pray, oh God, all, Papa, we that live in this nation, Papa, you shall promote our lives, oh God. You shall make our lives to excel in the name of Jesus Christ. Father, I pray, oh God, so shall it be. Papa, I pray, oh God, any power, oh God, lifting up evil hands, filthy hands, oh God, against this nation. I pray, Father, you shall arrest those powers. You shall destroy those powers in the name of Jesus Christ. Papa, and I pray, oh God, you shall open doors for us, oh God. You shall bless us, oh God, and you shall make this nation, oh God, Papa, to be, Father, a center, Papa, of peace, a center of joy, a center of good things, a center, oh God, of progress, a center of development, a center, oh God, of prosperity. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' precious name I pray. Amen.
The morning sun, I rise from my bed, I go look around all the blessings where I get. Walk out through the streets, I see the people smile. I tell them say life sweet, we go there shine, oh. Tell them thank you. The Papa God thank you for the life where I get, for the love where I see. Tell them thank you. The Papa God thank you for the joy in my heart, for the peace where they need. When the rain fall, I go dancing.
Kurumamo, can no I leave? There won't be sad. Thank you, Lord. Kurumamo, can no I leave? Oh, there won't be sad. Thank you, Lord. Kurumamo, can no I leave? There won't be sad. Oh, thank you, Lord. Kurumamo, can no I leave? There won't be sad.
Thank you, Lord.
Kurumamo,
thank you, Lord.
Listen. When I remember watching God do for me, I know able for talk, but for say thank you, Lord. Kurumamo, Kanuwali, get what we say.
Thank you, Lord.
Kurumamo, Kanuwali, get what we say.
Thank you, Lord.
Kurumamo, Kanuwali, get what we say.
Thank you, Lord.
Waliye masala waliye,
Wali Kanuwali.
say waliye masala waliye,
Wali Kanuwali.
waliye masala waliye,
Wali Kanuwali.
waliye masala waliye,
Wali Kanuwali.
waliye masala waliye.
Wali Kanuwali.
Wali Kanuwali, we need for tell God thank you. Kumomo Gewo Bise. We say, Alhamdulillah, we can say, we tell Allah thank you for we life, tell Allah thank you for our life same. We pray that Allah go answer our prayers and make this place a better place and make we better people. You know, the things same way they happen around, where we all know saying a bad things same. Well, people ain't go stop for do them. You know, it's just bad people who are doing bad things. But leadership as well, leadership enforcement, me still not able to understand. If you not on 1 year, safe, I give a check for that video. The way the Inspector General of Police been going to that government press conference and assure people and say, then go give updates about searching for the wanted guy, Josh Umar Sharif or whoever. You know, again, you don't take the people for granted. You never take citizens there like them fool. You know, yesterday there was a webinar. I remember one me colleague. I will play that video. The one me colleague share the video with we of a webinar where then they talk about how then guide and the people and they use the sire for do transshipment. It's worrying. Why it's worrying is that every other time, even with all the efforts we government, this is why I think the president should be worried and concerned, because you not got to travel and they try for change the image of the country, and there is drug business where the country is connected to. It doesn't make sense to me, because if every other time you go don't make effort, don't go this, don't go down there, you know ECOWAS chairman and pam as people and click this news come up. Sierra Leone is hosting the most wanted man, the Hawks Lord. Not bad name then for nothing bad name. To not eat, to not drink, no sabi, And all they eat and drink, maybe a few people and they benefit from this. You know, but it comes back to us, Sierra Leoneans as a country, which is why I don't think that when they happen, we should take them seriously, because it's the image of a nation, not individual, not to one person they talk about. So, they know they say SLPP government too. They say now the country, I mean, we image, we all. Where drugs can they back with plane, it was us. Now the old image of the country, they out there in a very bad way. From where police say then they investigate, you don't. So tell the man can sit down back and watch some more. You know, people are waiting to drugs are very powerful people. They can do anything to you, especially if they're so entrenched in a system outside and get control of law enforcement and get control of people in power and politics. They can wipe you off in a day. You know what? They're God, they're around. Anyway, we'll take the anthem and pledge quickly. It's almost 7. Today, I will open up the phone line. I want but you can drop your comment now the live for now. If you get any experience with the health sector, just share your experience with you. Don't forget Dr. Mustafa Kaba, the program this morning, the deputy chief medical officer. We can look at the health sector, you know, and so if you get a question, you get a comment, where you get an experience with the health sector, just drop them. Don't do it too long. You can drop, if you get a question or whatever, just drop it. You'll definitely find time and read them out today to inside the program. And if possible, we might open up the phone line briefly. We get some calls. We go set the context for the conversation we will get with. I'm going to also look at ECSL and building trust in ECSL and waiting on the reforms and we don't go on. But we'll take the pledge and anthem first. We'll come back shortly. Continue for stay with me.
My love and loyalty to my country, Sierra Leone. I vow to serve her faithfully at all the times. I promise to defend her honor and good name. Always work for our unity, this freedom and prosperity. And put our interests above all else. So help me God, so help me God. I will exalt thee when of thy free. Great is thy love we have for thee. Stand me united, ever we stand, sing in thy praise, O lazy land. We raise up our hearts and our voices on high, the hills and the valleys echo our cries. Blessing and peace be ever alone, land that we love, our Sierra Leone.
When I was a child, my grandmother, Mama Janeba, led me through jungle paths to a small village in Kailahun called Sami, where she showed me coffee and cocoa plantations she promised would someday be mine. Then I became a boy, and my father took me fishing in rivers that flowed from Sierra Leone through Guinea and Liberia. I am a man now, and wherever I go in Sierra Leone, I am pulled by meandering rivers, islands of coconut trees, and vast sandy beaches. So wherever I go, and have been to many places, this is home. December 1893. Everybody is in Christmas mood in Freetown. The lights, the carols, everything is beautiful. But the British, they just had to go and pick a fight. Not with anyone else, but with one of the greatest African emperors at the time, son of Lofta, African of the Negro race, Prince of Believers, Almami Samori Toure, leader of the Madinka Empire. Colonel A.B. Ellis and the Inspector General of Police at the time, E.A.W. Lendy, decided that they needed to end the Samori situation all at once. They were not very happy that Samori Toure's empire was expanding into Sierra Leone, so they decided to go and get him. When they got there, the French were on the other side, signing treaties of friendship with other African chiefs. When they heard that there was a military encampment near Weimar, they decided to attack. Boom. 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 Smoke, cannons. And when the smoke cleared, Lieutenant Gaston Maritz on the French side was dead. On the British side, Captain E.A.W. Lendy was gone. Several other officers were down. The British, well, they blamed the French for the error of judgment. And the French compensated the British to the tune of £9,000. The Almami, well, he was nowhere near Weimar at the time, so he would live for another day. Merry Christmas.
It no matter
Indeed, Salone, now we country, now we no more get for make this place. Nobody else no go can make care for we. Now we for grieve, for tell we self true, and try for do things them way right, you know, because you know the better, you know the benefit anybody if things go bad, if light day, if water day, if the economy is good, if hospital and work well, public transport work well, affordable housing. When it works, it benefits and everyone. It doesn't pick. They know they ask you, show you party card first before you load now waka find boss. So they know they ask you and it serves everyone. Watch Lumley. I can drive past Lumley and see how, you know, people then they flop na the boss. They know they ask boss, you know, say whose party come or who's region waiting at you tribe. No. And then thing and they over left and how do we ensure that things get better for we all? Irrespective of who that in a power. So imagine you dance, you don't sing for party, you don't sing, dance and tonobo 5-10 years. Or whatever how long they you still they grapple with the same issue, then it's not working for you. We can do better. We're very good people. We can do better. We can ask questions and just hold people accountable and support government to fight for support government. There's this fight na football. I watch Mohamed Kalo. I see a lot of people tag me by Mohamed Kalo in life. I actually watched it. I stayed up that late for watch him. And you know, it's interesting how things not they change in this country. You know, certain things they don't change. I've been around football for some time. And I begin reports as a sports reporter. That is where I started. I started as a sports reporter, and I'm connected to football a lot. I like football, and I know that still my mind they go back as how the fate been there. JSK follow them, late time candidate them, patola them, you know, and come off from that day, normalization committee election. Aisha Johansson went on oppose. The other camp not able to participate in the election. The issue which got Michael, Mohamed Kalon, it's like the whole thing, it's like a replay. You know, salon football business, it's like a replay. You know, former President Koma say Sonko too much for football. I remember under Paul Camara in time. Say Sonko too much for football. And while that Sonko they done. But the Sonko it's like they done, bruh. It's like they done. It keeps repeating. And sometimes when you listen to all the parties them, right? You begin to don't imagine say it's not ego fetu, not ego, not so about processes and procedures. It's not about getting the right thing done, because they go imagine how on earth a country go hire a coach for how many months. It doesn't. Well, una the hire before una the hire una no reach terms and conditions with am. For una get a contract, a review am send am to in lawyer. Una negotiate salary for in backroom staff. It getting guide, it getting terms of reference. You know, waiting not for do. Where if you breach anyone panande, una no go no say, but I will be tell you the document day. The document they like the Bible or Quran. Now in they guide you. Then you saka. If you know adhere to waiting date at the contract. But we get a coach for 13 months. 13 months. There is all way to the camp and back, the argument to the camp and back. Now that contract no day. There was no contract. You know, it's shameful. Oh. It's so shameful when you check the caliber of people them way. Then at the National Sports Authority, the Ministry of Sports, Sierra Leone Football Association. How executive committee of a football association go sit down and approve a coach? They no say, okay, let's develop a contract for us, let's discuss the contract. Let we engage like a tripartite, the ministry, NSA, una watch the contract, everybody gets input. Then una present am to the coach. He go watch am first. If he agree, or if anything there for adjust, una adjust am. If he agree, he sign. But go and veil coach. You no sign contract. He don't dey work, forget him pay. He don't know that for pay. I didn't watch Calon yesterday. Say he saw it say funny, wallahi. Say no, the first one he don't know that for pay. If na this for pay, na that dey for pay. So then I can sorry for President Bio, wallahi. Well, can sorry for leader them as well. Because, you know, I always understand that president they appoint people them for help and for driving agenda. Because in one not able to do everything. So it comes with people say you serve here, you serve here, you serve here. But not all gets one agenda, one aim. The aim is now for ensure say the president in program and plan for the sports sector is achievable. But people in the draw themselves. This all sports, bruh, every other time people in the fete themselves. I dey listen the news, we news this morning, wrestling. Some young people, them under 17 or so, then go to one African country, then go compete in wrestling. They did well, then get silver, so then get some medal. And I dey think, say, these are the people who matter, bang now with sports. And if you check the party and then go give them. If you check, then go get huge potential, but for let them go beyond side and reach so, it's difficult because we not get infrastructure. There are a lot of things for settle with sports other than just Mohamed Kalon or just SLFA. But all the way can pass sport, football, and soccer, football. All about people like ego, resources, and all of this. I can say, me na president, be wallahi. Certain things then they were there. You wake in the morning. If I begin yeri they alala then they. It pleases me. And they say, they not only sack you, then they investigate you back safe. And they make them investigate you. Because this whole thing is about service. If it's about service, una can disagree. There is nothing wrong for the people and disagree. People from different backgrounds safe. Then for able to sit down and disagree. Because if everybody agree, na problem. But in a disagreement, one thing they way for stand out. Now the interest of the nation. In anything one they disagree, there should be a common ground. Say for the interest of Salon, me na me position this, so you know position nande. But for the interest of Salon and for ladies sports go before, let we agree at this point. That is how you put your country first. That is how you put your ego aside and work for a country. Now, opportunity for the president out of 8 million people, president call you say can serve. It's an opportunity, a lifetime opportunity. You don't see people who serve, we work in a public service, out of that public service position, they use and then CV, and now grow and grow power that thing. You see man, they want to be president all now. Can inside public service, serve as minister and all. Now na president they want to be. But if you don't work fine, I go and be president. I can say, you know, if certain institutions and the way that people and care, they can't manage them well. They can't collaborate, they can't work together. It go difficult so if you be president. It go difficult for we as a nation. But people need to work together. You know, Kalon, hopefully we'll get an eye tomorrow, inshallah. We go ask, watching live, we go ask some questions. But if you check Kalon record, right, he's one Sierra Leonean as an individual, we don't invest in football and football in this country. He has run FC Kalon for over 20 years as an individual. I'm not defending Kalon, by the way. I'll make that disclaimer. There are questions so I go one for ask him. There are questions. Hopefully, you go come and go ask him questions and we'll get a conversation. But I'm just saying, he's built a legacy. Imagine USA FC Kalon come on for how many years? Over 20 years. We Kalon come, start FC Kalon. To Usai FC Kalon. FC Kalon no ever relegated, still in at the Premier League. They don't can at this point, they don't win Premier League, they don't go international. This is one man, a former footballer, built look in place where billionaire. You know, them people when they all for able to sit down and say, okay, but you don't serve this country, you don't play, you don't captain, you don't use your resources. Babadi has invested in football, he's president of SLFA now. Emmanuel Safa Abdullahi has a club, he has invested in football. Look what he don't do na Kailaung, look what he do na other places. Na lawyer, he get a young club. The minister don't serve as PE teacher. Don't stay in sport for a very long time. That kind of expertise there. How do we take advantage of this kind of expertise and make them for benefits with nation? How do we, rather than them mine or draw yourself yonder at the detriment of the nation? That kind of expertise there, a former player, we don't play in a global level, he gets in club, he get legacy, he get something for show. A businessman, we don't invest in sports, don't build stadium, now president of a football association now. A lawyer, we don't build football, don't depend football, he don't play football, he don't manage football, he get club, he build, he help with artificial turf. Somebody we don't do in sports, he don't teach sports. You get that kind of expertise there, round the table. How do you sit with those people and make policies them and agree on things and way for better football? That should be the focus. It's a big distraction, you know. I don't know around football. I remember 2013, after 2013, John Conte, JK become the media person for SLFA. I remember he took me to SLFA. SLFA been get media committee. And me be member of the media committee. But the plaba will be in the under, bra, Aisha in term for, bra, follow me they get meetings, no problem. There was nothing to it, but the media committee was a group where usually if Leontaz they travel or other teams and they travel, you get opportunity. But I didn't, I never travel with any national team apart from going to Cameroon for White Nations Cup, and that was not under government, it was AYV then we facilitate that trip. And yeah, but I resigned. I left. I not be able to plaba. So JK left. Now JK been carrying me go there. Where JK left? Now say, bro, you know they left me now. Me say resign. I say no, this I not go able. Because you get for bootlick, you get for show loyalty to this group. You know for talk to this person. Now this person if for align with. Football where they bring people in together. So. Anyways, let's take some stories then. We therefore can talk to we guests then this morning. Like I say, in case you get an experience with the health sector and there's something you want us to know, you can just drop your comments now we Facebook page. We'll send them for definitely read them out. Just drop your comments and we go send them for read them. We can forget Dr. Kaba this morning, the Deputy Chief Medical Officer for Clinical Services. So one talk at the one look about because the people we get a lot of concerns and complain about things way they happen. But I'll take some few stories. Like I say, the Interreligious Council yesterday been pulled a statement and then talk about what's in the happen right now. I go just try for read that statement they quickly as they run through. I'm saying Interreligious Council of Sierra Leone statements on the proliferation of politically divisive statements and its speeches. 13th April 2026. The Interreligious Council of Sierra Leone is deeply concerned about the increasing level of political statements and its speeches by political leaders and party members around the country. We have observed with concern that words shared in public spaces, especially on social media, are becoming more divisive, intimidating, harmful, and have the potential to threaten the peace we have worked so hard to build over the years. Sierra Leone is well known for its religious tolerance and unity. For many years, citizens, both Muslims and Christians, have lived side by side in harmony, showing the world that peaceful coexistence is possible. Sierra Leoneans expect to see and enjoy a similar tolerance among politicians across party lines. It says the peace and democracy we're enjoying today are the result of the hard work and sacrifices of individuals who risk their lives and use their resources in the process and also the peace building process is ongoing and remains valid and important. Therefore, it must not be reversed or undermined by provocative and unwise statements, utterances that can promote hatred, intimidation, mistrust, division, and violence. The IRCSL has always condemned the use of invective, often directed at the mothers of political opponents. Sierra Leonean women, especially our mothers, deserve respect. Moreover, children and the youth can easily access those utterances on social media. We therefore should not sacrifice. We adults have a sacred duty to educate our children and youth in high moral values, and therefore should not sacrifice it for any political interest. For the sake of our women, especially our mothers, and the moral education of our children and youths, we appeal for the use of language in political discourse that is not offensive. The IRCSL calls on citizens, but especially political actors, their sympathizers, young people, and social bloggers to be mindful of their words and actions. Freedom of expression is right, but must be exercised responsibly with respect for others and a commitment to promoting unity and national cohesion. Go further for saying, in this regard, we appeal to all key institutions, especially the Political Party Regulation Commission, the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs to step up efforts in taking firm and fair action to address hate speech wherever it occurs. We all have an important role in sustaining peace by ensuring that the laws of Sierra Leone are respected. Therefore, those who promote division, incitement, and political intimidation are to be held accountable without fear or favor. The peace we enjoy today is the result of great sacrifices and collective efforts. Therefore, we must all work together to protect it. Let us choose the path of dialogue instead of confrontation and conflict, respect instead of insult, and unity instead of division inspired by hatred. The IRCSL remain committed to promoting peace, tolerance, unity, and national cohesion. We urge all Sierra Leoneans to stand together at this time and reject all forms of hate speech from politicians and their supporters. Long live Sierra Leone, long live the Interreligious Council of Sierra Leone. Signed, His Grace Dr. Edward Tamba Charles, President, Alaji Mutada MCC, First Vice President, Reverend Dr. Usman Jesse Fona, General Secretary. Another statement from the Interreligious Council. I'm sure you go don't see them around. We go put them up now. We social media platform them so people can go easily access them and read them as well. Yesterday also, the main opposition APC been pull a statement and say APC welcomes international mission, reaffirms push for electoral reform. Say the opposition All People's Congress APC has issued a statement ahead of the visit of the international moral guarantors, reaffirming its demand for meaningful electoral reforms and transparency in Sierra Leone's democratic process. Despite tension, the APC emphasized the commitment to peace, unity, and democratic governance. And in quotes, it says, these principles must be underpinned by trust, transparency, and good faith. The statement read, urging the visiting mission to facilitate sincere dialogue that ensures the commitment under the agreement for national unity are fully implemented. So the moral guarantors with the tongue, they meet with the APC today. We they keep an eye on that story and hopefully go bring and come to una as the program they unfold and get several meetings them, then get meeting them way, then they all na different places with different individuals. Another story, 100-bed hospital in Moyamba nears completion. 100-bed hospital in Moyamba, Sierra Leone is edging closer to a major milestone in healthcare transformation as a 100-bed specialist hospital in Moyamba nears completion, signaling a strategic shift toward expanding advanced medical services beyond primary care. The Moyamba facility, currently about 70% complete, is part of a broader 3-hospital initiative alongside projects in Pujeru and Karine aimed at boosting district-level capacity to handle complex medical cases. These are some of the stories Demographer can discuss with Dr. Kaba about the supplies and with equipment, mobility, where the ministry do over the weekend across the country. Another story, Nant Energy Project, its milestone as turbine arrives in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone's drive toward reliable electricity supply has reached a landmark moment with the arrival of the first turbine for the Nant Energy Project. The U.S. Embassy in Freetown announcing the development on its official Facebook page described the delivery as advancing efforts to expand Sierra Leone's energy capacity. Power generation is expected to start in early 2027. According to the embassy, the initiative will not only enhance Sierra Leone's energy security, but also create opportunities for American businesses engaged in the sector. So there's this NANT project for provide electricity then at Eastern. According to the embassy, them post them yesterday, one of the turbine them way for power don't come, and hopefully it will be completed by early next year, 2027. We pray and hope say it goes well, so we go able address we energy challenge we'll get in the country. We'll take one final video as they can join with guests this morning. One final video, the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, the National Protected Area Authority NPAA, leader them being go work on the wetland. You know, I always on the bring tone a video then about encroachment at the wetland, the Aberdeen Creek and all of that. So they go do inspection and you know about the situation at the place, how people and don't encroach and don't build at certain level. You know, I see Trevor even don't start a petition, an email petition where they ask people and for sign up. So you can go on page Trevor Young, you can go to that page and check for the petition, the email, and share them. But let's take that video there quickly. Let's see how the situation turn like.
Over the weekend, the Minister of Health, Dr. Austin Demby, been go work on Moyamba for inspect the 100-bed specialized hospital where government say bill. Been talk say, Salon they move enter one new phase now na healthcare delivery. We start them.
You know what time it is? Youth man, wasting time. Youth man, wasting time. If we land for ask questions, but things them where they happen now we sweet nation. You name the resources, waiting they don't benefit this nation. From independence to 50 years of celebration.
One big risk assessment don't show say the wetland them na Freetown, the Poel bad one from Aberdeen Creek and Kasada Farm na Juba, Tego Mambo na the Peninsula Highway, the main defense where they protect the city from the Atlantic Ocean, the lost one. This destruction they kill marine life and left community them open to big flooding. The assessment where the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, National Disaster Management Agency, National Protected Area Authority, and Tourist Board don't show say illegal encroachments don't increase. Big extension and mega construction projects them don't cross the protected core zone them, where they raise question about illegality and who that give them authority for carry on with them kind projects them. Sheikh Ahmed Tunis, the new executive director for NPAA, don't want say the law no they allow people for cut mangrove them or build na wetland them.
Basically, law in this country say wetland, especially inside mangrove them day. Nobody know for exploit for any construction or development. The danger for you, look, you see the sand dome, the intermodal between we and the Atlantic Ocean. So whenever water rises from the Atlantic Ocean, it comes up here. Now this mangrove, now like a sponge, it is soak them in and dry them. So water no go come up for can destroy. Now when you clear all this mangrove, you not only kill the fish tank breeding space, the bird within the car, the bird breeding space, the crocodile, the other biodiversities. And not only that you destroy, you also they expose this area to flooding. And not just an ordinary flooding, but a serious one where it will come, nobody know. This estuary and the wetland around that are protected area. No development of our project. My role not to identify who I get. My role not for stop the person develop there. Me no go consider as say na your papa get her, na your grandpa get her, or na this person get her. But the law say whoever gets her, that person did not for user because of the role where this they play for the general ecosystem. How this go help the entire country, the entire city. This time the last defense for protect freighter. If you move on, then no defense, no more barrier.
Tunis explains say NPAA no get power for allocate land to anybody and don't challenge people wey say them buy land or get allocation from NPAA for show them legal paper them.
Me, Sheikh Abed Tunis, I don't get any right to allocate land to anybody. So if me predecessor allocate land to you, who say you get that right? You as a citizen, the only person where they allocate land to somebody, the Ministry of Land, not to NPA, not to revoke. But people I know they allocate land. So anything with me predecessor being given, example. But look, now school they 1 billion. Now inside swamp, nobody on earth. Now NPA get right for usage for that place. You know, so if my predecessor been give that, me go tell and say it wrong. And the person will go come with, I go send them back. Say, look, what you give me is wrong. I can't do it. But remember, Boku fake land plan all the Nasalo. Whilst we can say Ministry of Land, they give land, we should also know, say, some land and the way people in the scene are from Ministry of Land, not today come on. So me, when I get that, I send to Ministry of Land and inquire. And I don't get answer within the time me saying a fake land. But even, let me make it clear, even if now you get a land, you get all paper correct. But if it's in a protected area, you're not supposed to exploit it.
At this point, NPA say them work now for identify, map, demolish, and restore the wetland them.
We get nursery, and we develop more nursery for restore an ecosystem. So yeah, basically different type mangrove then that they did it. Now that same mangrove will go north, and then we plant her, we watch her until it grow a beautiful like how the mangrove we see under.
Inside the Waka, Ministry of Environment and Climate Change don't pledge for give strength to NPAA then legal department for address encroachment beyond demolition.
Demolition is one thing, but also the legal process can take course. Because you can't demolish today, and tomorrow they can't do that. You can't demolish, and tomorrow they can't do that. And I know what they plan for it forever. So we try for beef up the NPA, their legal department. So then when they carry the case, I go court. Because we have the laws. I think the problem will get to people in the country now. We know they enforce the laws there. So now we test the system. If somebody go build on side with the law say enough for building, we'll go court. Let the court decide whether we laws them, laws them we people buy back, or laws them we disagree.
People and laborer them na Aberdeen Creek say na lack of demarcation cause the problem wey make enforcement efforts not the whole water.
If Motaman don't see, you don't tell her. Or say, USA don't camp in this thing here. Now government pillar this I don't camp put. After this pillar, nobody beyond this pillar. I feel say stop go there to that. The only way we may feel we then go able to protect this place here. Now that demarcation, what they talk about. Because by so doing, if they put that demarcation line there, they don't protect that area there. So they don't protect from the people the way they try for encroach for go there. Then self will stop. But without no demarcation line, land grabber, I like them say ginger they under, you know, because I need place.
Murana Dumbuya, one fisherman and self-construction laborer, na Aberdeen Creek say the kind of way that they destroy the mangrove them and authority don't tap people where they build, they affect in work and waiting for it.
I mean, they are far I don't want fishing. You say after the lake here, when you are they catch me lake here. I didn't want me to hey, you wanna now the catch maps from a job I want to. Yes, for that do small. The backfield, they host there a better pass than this.
Part of this risk assessment, tourist board been dey and authority them be ask them if not them be allow people for build na the wetland them, but been deny say they allocate land na Aberdeen Creek.
I will ask about when we go to PAL residence or PAL hotel, you don't take an extension of 1.5
Say all you tell them.
All they expand. So they say they go to winner. They ask for
let them produce the documents. I don't want to cut and short allegation. Let them produce the documents. We're very sensitive of this wetland.
As the Ministry of Environment, they support NPAA, them body don't tap all construction and other people them for show the legal paper them for Truth FM, Emmanuel Boa the report.
Are you tired of waiting in long lines at the bank? Say hello to Omnolite, your ultimate banking solution from EcoBank. With Omnolite, managing your finances has never been easier. Here's why. Omnolite allows you to enjoy easy access to your account information across multiple countries. Monitor your accounts in real time from the comfort of your home or office. Rest assured with Omnolite, all your online transactions are guaranteed secure. Do you need to transfer funds? No problem. Whether it's domestic or international, Omnolite has got you covered. Make multiple payments effortlessly with our convenient multiple transfer service. And paying bills is a breeze with Quick Bill Pay. Plus, schedule future payments hassle-free with standing order. Want a checkbook? Just request it on Omnolite and it'll be delivered to your doorstep within 10 working days. Experience the convenience and efficiency of Omnolite today. Visit us online or at your nearest EcoBank branch to learn more. A better way, a better Africa.
When starting your day, getting fit is the first step. When the hustle starts, nothing should stall you. When it's time to plan your future, saving should be easy. When you're ready to expand, no room for excuses. When your child needs relief, waiting isn't an option. And if it's you asking, no isn't an answer. Because for us, when it comes to banking, it's all about you.
Designed for make you life simple. No miss events. Buy tickets for concerts, sports match or any show directly from the app. Enter the marketplace, shop latest products them, check special offer them and enjoy exclusive deals. If you make mistake on transaction, no worry. The app gets instant reversal feature where they give you control over your money. All the special features and more they waits for you inside the app. Download Maxit now and enjoy the full experience.
Orange.
The EcoBank Elevate program na special package where EcoBank don design for businesswoman them and woman them where they manage business who gets plenty woman as staff and cover company them where they produce products them specially for woman them. This innovation they tailor for develop female entrepreneurs them for help grow them businesses them step by step. EcoBank they stand with them, give them the right support where them businesses them need. Some key features inside the Elevate program will be loan up to $50,000 with no collateral. Track record eligibility for 2 years. Interest rate and collateral terms them, you know go get no say. Financial services them like wealth management and insurance. Market access through My Trade Hub Africa B2B matchmaking. Capacity building through webinar, training and mentoring. Mentorship from corporate level women leaders them. Plus, loyalty and other benefits them like discounts for retail and recreational program them. So, join we community today na ecobank.com/elevate and elevate your business go higher heights. EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa.
Welcome back. This is the Truth Morning Devotion on Truth FM 103.9. We the broadcast live from the studios na Ilkot na Freetong. We on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. We also you dey listen to we through a partner radio stations na Tongo, na Falaba, and Pujewen Kailang. Welcome. You just watch a video of the wetland, na the Aberdeen Creek, the visit with the Ministry of Environment and the Disaster Management Agency, Tourist Board, and NPA do. See the situation. Trevor has been raising this and is doing a petition calling that government for take action, you know, and we'll keep an eye on that as well. We've been showing you how that place was and how it is presently. You know, right in front of our eyes, we don't see them, we don't watch. Tell people encroach and they don't build to the level within this, so, you know. This morning, we can start the conversation with politics and electoral reform generally, waiting it mean for we politics and elections in this country, and also the kind election system we forget. You know, there's this conversation about district block system and first past the post. We don't get that conversation then with politicians. But today we can talk to people and where they do research, analysts them, and people and where they manage the elections, where they run the elections. As part of the tripartite agreement, one of the recommendations them, and some of the recommendations now for a reform of the Electoral Commission for Salud. The ECSL London in the news, you know, all this while and recently with the appointment of Edmond Alpha as the Chief Electoral Commissioner. So this morning, I got my very good friend and brother, Albert Massakoy, we are the Director of External Relations at ECSL. Albert, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, as always.
Yes, thank you. I also get Professor Fredlin McCormack-Ale from the Institute for Governance Reform. We can talk about, you know, the research, a paper we then do a critical perspective on hybrid, not PR versus first past the post, and a very detailed, you know, document where they talk about the kind hybrid system where we forget with we election. Good morning, Prof, and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure. Albert, I'll start with you. Mr. Edmond Alpha, I don't settle down now. I see he been a meeting with political parties. I see there was a letter, but not only political parties they attend. Has he been able for meet with political parties and present to them in plan and agenda of the ECSL?
Yes, Mr. Sylvester, Edmond Sylvester Alpha is properly seated. We are going to start from that background. And indeed, they don't meet with political parties. Not all, but most of the political parties. And since he assumed that office as Chief Electoral Commissioner, Chairman, and National Returning Officer, he has embarked on a lot of engagement, including political parties, wherein letters were sent to all political parties, the leadership of the various political parties, for make we engage and as a roadmap for 2028. As you rightly state, not all of the political parties, out of the 17, 15 political parties. We are saying 17 because C4C, based on PPRC, then records, C4C now is back. Understand? Then court issue, then lifted so somehow. Mm-hmm. So even with meetings, C4C also they participate now. Only 2 political parties, we as at now no reach out it. But even the 2 political parties, from the response of one, when at the UP, they make them clear, see, when we start PPLC, they will participate in at PPLC level, that's the political parties liaison committee. Then we don't make them position clear when the presidency being right to them about the appointment of Mr. Alpha. So that one is done for them. But if we go into any operational activities, they make specific reference to PPLC, then go participate with whatever reservation.
So Mr. Alpha, they enjoy the confidence of most of the political parties that they attend a meeting with them and make a statement as well?
Yes, indeed. Not only the political parties, other institutions, state institutions we they deal with. For example, like NCRA get role who they collaborate with, or like Statistics Sierra Leone, like all others, including the development partners. Yes, he's enjoying that, but we want a total, a total. So we still get 1.5, so to speak. Make I just say 2. That is the
Unity and the APC.
Yes, for MEC, we get a total situation we are in moving forward, because we are planning now, because he's properly seated, Chief Electoral Commissioner, Chairman, and National Returning Officer, one for roll out in plans for 2028.
His appointment is being questioned. A lot of, his appointment presently don't cause some political stalemates where the opposition say they know they participate in governance and all of that. And the opposition party is a main key player in the electoral process. Is he at any point concerned that the allegations they go round about in credibility and all of that?
Well, he is not. Well, he may be concerned, because being the referee for the conduct of elections, but that not mean say continue for doing work. Now, coming to the issue of the process, the presidency appoint him in consultation with registered political parties, the leadership of these political parties, they go to parliament. So he has gone through all of the processes we make. He is now properly seated. So from a legal standpoint, he is not concerned. But of course, moving forward, we are dealing with our partners, stakeholders, the political parties. That's the reason why the first official duty now for write letters to all the registered political parties. That letter that was out on social media, now the chairman write that letter in SSF to the leadership of the APC.
They reply to them?
Unfortunately, no. We are yet to receive that reply. And there is also a second letter where we get that meeting with all the leaders of these political parties. So since he came into office as Chief Electoral Commissioner and Chairman, he has written 2 letters to the All People's Congress. Unfortunately, he has not received an acknowledgement. But we not still get for tap there, because he has made it very clear that irrespective, he is the referee. He's going to ensure that everybody comes on board, and that is what he will be doing.
Okay, Albert, I'll come back to you. Prof, I just want to piggyback a bit. I remember some time ago, and this was in December, we had a conversation here after an Afrobarometer report. We been come out, we should say trust in ECSL don't drop from 64 to 34% since 2018. It's waiting to happen so presently with the ECSL and the main opposition backing out and not recognizing or working with the electoral commissioner. How then did they affect trust in the electoral process or the commission generally?
Thank you, Lamana. So indeed, where we've been doing the Afrobarometer research, and that is the data they come out from March of 2025, because in March we actually conduct our research day. It is shows say the trust in ECSL don't go down. Interestingly, you also find out say trust depends on Usayu Day and Usayu Komot. So we notice say people in the south and east, we express greater trust in ECSL than people in the north and the northwest. So it look like say people they feel say they're not all included, or they're not all able to get the same amount of trust in a critical institution. And we know say the ECSL they make strides, the ECSL they reach out to parties as Albert has outlined. But one thing we see in Sierra Leone is a polarization. And I think these types of things, they reinforce the polarization, because you get a set of people in the country who feel, say, this either the institution or the country not for them. So we need for see really all the our different institutions, the military, the police, all the different institutions, ECSL, people that need for feel, say, then they reflect within their want.
So how do we build, based on the research and the work we they do, how do we build trust at a critical time like this? We get disputed election after 2023. It looks like the fight has continued, and it affects the institution generally. How ECSL and the political parties go work together for even build public trust as well, let the people and believe in the institution.
I think ECSL therefore reflect on waiting different citizens they say and see how far accommodates their requests. So for example, this latest issue where APC decides they're not going to boycott government, one of the reasons behind the issue, now because of the perception, say, the commissioner, there's a bill in front of Parliament now where they outline the way how the ECSL for engage and for nominate the ECSL commissioner. Indeed, waiting government do not illegal, not wrong for let the president appoint, because that's not the law. But because you get a process ongoing, because you actually get something with it in front of Parliament, citizens they ask, well, wait make we know, just wait till that process be finalized, because the process actually very inclusive. You get the talk sailor, you get a whole committee of different CSOs, different organizations, different institutions. We go for nominate, we go review and decide who the next person get for be. So one question would be, how we make sure say we take all shades on board, how people can go feel say we comments, we perspectives are being respected, and the institutions and they take into account, then they accommodate people and requests.
Yes, in this all political space, I can say ECSL na the institution way go serve every other political party. Leaders come and go and all of it. How we could depoliticize whatever the perception can be of institution like ECSL, because like you said, the draft bill where they show the appointment kind of they push on a way for depoliticize who that they be chief electoral commissioner. How do we strengthen, how the country go strengthen things like that, and the way every other political party or the public self go see ECSL as a public institution where it gets credibility and trust?
I think so. You don't talk, Alamrana. The bill with it in Parliament now, yes, it gets some issues, but you see a willingness for accommodate different shades of perspective. The Minister of Justice actually may reach out to different organizations for say, when I come on board, if I get comments, when I get feedback, make we know. Parliament's background talk say, let we get feedback and see how for address, how for make them changes there. So what do we need for do? We need for go beyond talk into action. If we don't call for shades of opinion, if there's a motion on the ground for say, let we get different perspectives, if we see some issues that we want to address, if we see some things that we want to expand, let we know. Then let them do that one day. Let we wait and get our information day before ever acting. So then,
are we going into an election with their trust issue with the referee? Because the whole issue about the tripartite and agreement for national unity was to address the issues that will come up from the 2023 election and build trust and strengthen the institution. But it seems like the whole problem still there. And do you think we're going into a 2028 election usai the institution gets questions them and trust issues still based on the report on do still there with the institution?
So for me, I not like for be pessimistic. I really like for be optimistic and for hope for the best. So by the grace of God, I hope say this whole issue now where you get, I think so you're getting more guarantors in town, you get a space for letting the APC come on board, SLPP back come on board and discuss and talk. It's never too late. The research we do them in 2025. We still get some time to elections. If we can able to get a reasonable outcome to this, if we get the actual parties, you get for also get sincerity. You get for be sincere on what you do. You get for come with a genuineness of heart and genuineness of purpose. So the hope is if we can get the political actors for actually sit down and negotiate and talk and say in all sincerity, we did try for reach out, we did try for do waiting the other side want for do, we did try for approach a compromise, then 2028 not get for be terrible. By the grace of God, we really just need we political actors and for come together. We need we institutions and for come together, and not so the ECSL no more. We they see say trust on decline across all institutions, and so we need, if we want for shore up trust, if we want for regain trust, then people that need for feel say the other side, however the other side is conceptualized, the other side willing for come on board and truthfully engage and negotiate and discuss and see what for do for we as citizens. Because in all of these discussions, who are they lost out?
Now, the
citizens. Right now, if you know, not inside government, you get decisions the way political actors they make where we not get an opposition where they check them. Or the ruling party maybe go make decisions and people then go feel so well then decisions that lack integrity because you're not getting opposition. So now we as citizens, we're poor, we where they complain, we're defending for it. Now we they suffer. So we also get a high incentive. We also want to see the two sides.
So you know, electoral system na the bridge where they connect the people and the political class and the government as well. And in this paper, this critical perspective of governance, when I say beyond the PR system and the first past the post, a call for a mixed electoral system for Salion. Waiting at this mixed system because the conversation would only get na PR versus first past the post.
Exactly. And so they ask, I mean, for we at the bottom is how citizens are the benefits or how citizens are lost out. And we feel say right now, because of how the conversation on they go, now an artificial conversation where they talk about PR versus first past the post. It's like saying that then two normal you get. You don't even forget a middle road. We don't say PR get Boku issues. FPTP, I would just call them PR and FPTP for short. FPTP back gets a lot of issues. But if you just talk, so let we get one over the other, in order to address some of the fundamental problems that we as Sierra Leoneans get, where we governance system get. And so what we they call for, we they ask, say, let we move beyond something where most people don't even know about. We've been doing a poll in 2022. We find out, say, 74% of citizens, nearly 3/4 of citizens, they talk, say, we don't know whose electoral system we get. And then we do research this 2025, so the same research where we find out about the levels of trust. We see, say, now 26% of citizens that normal talk say they know, say, we get an ongoing process of electoral review. So the tripartite, most people they not really know what's in the tripartite they're about. And I know, say, really government don't try for send out for meets with people and engage in you get different actors where they try for popularize different CSOs, but the information still not a reach every aspect of the country. So citizens, instead, and they talk, say, so this we want foresee. We want a system we're going to address the key problems where we get in the country, key problems around governance, key problems around accountability, key problems around violence, because we don't say around election time, we can always get small levels of violence. Inclusion, you did talk about inclusion now, where we did say, where I tell you, say we get data where they show, say, citizens, they're very divided socially. We actually get an increase in the number of people they talk, say they not trust their neighbor, they not trust people of other religions. All don't go up by 10 points, 8 points. From the same Afrobarometer data, it's worrying. And we are one of the most socially tolerant nations. So lots of us say the tolerance levels, they're not reached like some other countries there. We're still in the 70s, but we see an actual decrease. I mean, let's just take you through slowly. Trust in other citizens. You get, right now, 56% of citizens will say they not trust other citizens at all, or then trust them small. That's gone up by 10 points. The last time we did this, 2022, 45% say they not trust themselves. That now go up to 56%. So it's increased by 10 points. Trust in people from other religions. We can always say we're a very religiously tolerant country. But you see some of the rhetoric where they come out recently, where they point to possibly a decrease in trust. Trust in people from other religions don't go down by 8 percentage points. So you see that the trends, trust in people from other ethnic groups. The one way they talk, say, I trust me, somebody from a different group than mine. In 2022, it was 46%. In 2025, 52%. So 6 percentage points higher of people they talk, say, they're not trust people that from other ethnic groups. So you see the polarization. And we feel, say, an artificial polarization, because Sierra Leoneans, we they married, we serve Muslim, Christian, then they married, people from different ethnic groups, we they go to school, people then they go, then they mix at school. So we're not really inherently divided like some other countries that we get some deep polarization, but we get a system where the politicians
It's
and
political.
then they manipulate the division. And then you get a system now where instead of you they campaign based on policies, you they campaign based on your region or your ethnicity. So that way when you talk, say vote for me because me that you come, we come up from the same ethnic group, we come up from the same religion. People that know they think of the policy, then just feel say, oh, well, I vote for this person because then me lot go better. Because that person they na me person, na me brother, na me sister. And we don't notice say, it no matter who that day in power, you still they suffer. If under APC, areas in the north and the northwest, they were still poor. They were still struggling. Under current SLPP, people then from the south and the east, then still they struggle. So we really be one for change the narrative. And we
So how this mixed system they change, Dandy? How will it help for, let me get a system where inclusive, we go ensure accountability, and as well economic benefits to the people and where they vote?
So what do we do? And if you read the paper, and I encourage people, because I'm not going to talk about all now, we look at four things. We look at accountability, we look at stability, we look at inclusion, and we look at cost of elections. So then four major challenges where we as Sierra Leoneans get. And then we say, how does first past the post address these challenges? How does PR address these challenges? And what are the limitations of both? And what do we need for do in light of these issues? So if you look at accountability, let me take accountability as the first example. Most people in King Talk say first past the post are the best system for accountability. By accountability, we mean say you sabi uda na you MP, uda na you councillor, then you're able for hire and fire in a way. If you see say they're not they do the work with
they know get them symbol, they're not go get them symbol.
Exactly. So you drive them basically. So they provide a direct link between MPs and the constituencies. But waiting at the challenge where we been get? Well, one, we can see even under FPTP, we get a system where we had a high turnover. I mean, we could get like 70% of turnover. But even the system of symbol allocation, you can get challenges. Some people can feel say the one way they allocate the symbol now based on not so we as citizens, like the delegates, and maybe you can buy the delegates. So you had that issue. So then people then say, well, okay, why don't we do PR? Because PR they address the idea of winner take all. Because under first past the post, if you get, let me say 55% of the vote, now you they take all the seats. The other party not get any seat. But the PR, they weaken direct representation because you don't know now the party them. Actually they put the people them on the list. So the parties and the control candidate selection. You also, because of how we do because we get this district block system, you get some constituencies, or if we go to local councils, you get some wards where not get any councillor representation. So we do some research in about 7 districts inside we work. We note say 20% of wards not being get any councillor representation. So for example, in Western Rural District, 31% of wards in Western Rural not get any direct representative. So all that to show we say, yes, first past the post might have some issues, but PR not accommodates and not address the issues that we really get. So we can do a mix. What does a mix look like? A mix says, now we as citizens, they actually determine whether they go on the list. Because you can get a system where citizens, then they vote for the representatives. Then the parties and they watch, then they see who that can get the most votes, and by the amount of votes where you get, now that they determine who that they on the list and the list placement. So that's one example of which we talk
a mixed system.
Of a mixed system. Then we get some same also for first past the post, if you remember, we've been get constituency naming way like Freetown West,
Yes,
Freetown
yes.
One. You
Constituency 101, constituency.
well, now that's we get now.
Yeah.
But constituency 101, within a constituency 101, you can actually go back to the naming of Freetown West, or
Is zone West zone like it used to be?
Like it used to be, where you actually recall, so you go know whose constituency you did. Freetown Central, both Central, you actually know the constituency. So we call for, we talk, say, if we can go back to direct representation, but also the naming, letting naming change, so people then go know whose constituency then they talk about. So that's
So it's not just the broader perspective of a district, that the district this MP they represent, but it goes to the community, and they know, say, we from this area to this area, we now is zone 1.
Yes.
And now we MP this way they represent you.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Freetown, you call them by name.
By name,
and
Freetown.
you're not new to, we know that's what we do. So we call for a system where, yes, you can do proportional representation, but if you do proportional representation, let citizens then decide who are they represented, so we get that direct link for hire and fire, so to speak, and also for let we know whose constituency we did, so that one the back up. So that's one thing. If we go to stability, because stability is another issue. We know, say, overall, people can say elections free and fair. We don't get 6 elections. So we get elections where people that know, say, generally is free and fair. But we actually always get some level of violence, and we always get some level of contention over who wins or not. So the last election, between 2020 and 2023, we get 83 people will die during that time. We get economic losses of 7% of GDP loss during that same day. So it give a problem in terms of deaths, but it also we suffer economically as well. We've been get 24 days of where the country just be locked down, where people will not be able for come out to anything. That one day we lost 417 million due to that closure. Winner takes all politics was FPTP, because if you 55%, now you get all the seats, it encourage this instability, because politics is do or die. You don't say, if I not win.
Other people, when they think, say they're not part of it, then your vote not count.
Then your votes not count. It cancel all the votes. So then another issue, and it encourage gerrymandering, where we don't see census and how the census is manipulation, and we don't see the electoral strategies where people get. So that election, that winner take all strategy, also very problematic for we. So how do we address that? We can actually address that again through a hybrid system. If you want, we can get the list as PR is calling for, but where you get a list, you also to make sure, say, the threshold, because you get, if they do a threshold, last election, we could talk, so we want peace, but the last election, 11.9 threshold, it means that most of it completely cancelled all small parties and all independent candidates. We're not good as well for women, right? So if you change that one day, if you get a system where you don't need for get by-elections, for example, because you have the list, it'll minimize on electoral violence, it'll minimize on the contestation. But if you increase the threshold, you lower the threshold for make more people in kind.
They be more inclusive.
They should say, yes, you can be more inclusive. So PR can promote inclusion in theory, but in practice, the way how we do it not promotes inclusion because of the high threshold. It not promotes inclusion because we still get a two-party system.
Yes, not parliament. So now they recommend say the threshold should be reduced.
We recommend say the threshold for reduce. We also recommend say for address the ethno-regional division where we get right now. We know that another challenge where we get, because political parties, as I said, then they concentrate on strongholds. So one thing we call on is let's move away from the stronghold position. Citizens in back they call for them. I want to give you AB data as well. Citizens then they ask, say, if you they want 93% of citizens talk say we can to power. We want for see ethno-regional balance. We want for see governments that we're inclusive.
Yeah.
Let not to one game party no more
Concentrated in one area.
Let we get more people from across the divide, all shades. You actually get 70% of citizens will say if my party appoints somebody in leadership from another region, 70% talk say they will still support them party. Similarly, if you appoint somebody from another party in a position of leadership, 66% talk say they still support them party. So citizens, then they call out for greater inclusion, more cohesiveness, and a move from this winner-take-all system.
Yes, the fourth partner, the economic cost of politics and election.
Yes.
We wanna say, perhaps one of the biggest development challenges is addressing the huge cost of elections.
Yes.
In light of the country's financial constraint, ensuring affordability of elections should also be a key consideration. Then they don't be the conversation. How ECSL not they spend too much again. Government don't need to give them money for go on by election and all of that.
Yes.
How this mixed system they work with the issue of rerun or by election.
Yes, because where you get by elections, we can spend on average, if you watch all the different costs where ECSL get for incur, where the political parties then back get for incur in terms of campaigning, they see the costs could be like around 97 million. Now we don't spend between 2020 through 2024 where we calculate everything. So if you get a PR system, then the minute where you get an absence, now the next possibility on the list, now you get for go on. So it minimize that cost there because you not get for actually do a by-election. But for later on they work, you also get for be all the other issues where we don't talk about get for be in place. So where they can to the quota system. We have women's representation now, 30%. One thing where people can say, where you come back to PR, we can talk say PR, they increase inclusion. Right? And one thing where people can point to is 30% women. You now actually get 30% of women in government. But there are some challenges even to that. ECSL, PPRC, they really try, especially PPRC, but both, they try because political parties, they send lists we're not being actually meet up that 30% quota.
Then they put name.
And they put man names, but women names. So the institutions, this is where they talk about trust. These are the types of things where institutions can do for build trust, right? So, but not so 30% no more we need. Because you don't see in Kenema, for example, a female MP pass, may her soul rest in peace. But Uda then replace somewhere, it was a man. Because the man had been the next name on the list. So we need if we do this, you get for actually sit down and think how you arrange them in such a way where if you get a woman where lost in seats for any reason, the next possible way for CAM also could be a woman.
So the number not reduced.
But also the other thing we get for consider maybe now the constituency, because if you get a woman from one area and then the next person on the list that now a man from a different constituency, then also you get constituency underrepresentation. So you get for balance, you really need for sit down and calculate and think very critically on how you do this. The other issue is placement, because women, it's a 30%, 1 in 3. What do the parties then do? They assume say woman for they in the third position. Why? There's no need for that. So they call for a zipper system where you get one woman, one man, or one man, one woman, and you alternate based on gender. So you see, it's not just PR where they automatically increase inclusion. You actually get for see how for work with the PR for increase inclusion. Similarly, so how the placement rules gets a role for play, and the calculations that also get a role for play. So you not just go assume say one political system is best over the other. You get to see how for combined elements.
I think this is insightful. I hope the political players they listen and it could be helpful. Because if you put both like how I explain and so and through this research, I think it will help in addressing the challenges and look at the opportunities and way they for be more inclusive and address the other issues. Albert, the issue of trust. I know the 80 recommendation, the first part of the recommendation of the tripartite, a lot get for do with ECSL reforms, electoral system reforms. how far ECSL long go for implementing reforms there, for help in building trust with the political parties?
Yes, firstly, before we go into then one and the make myself try forget a bite into this issue of trust. For the last 20 years, we some of us done the work now ECSL, from NEC to ECSL. It has always been part of that. I will state that it is really a political narrative. Mostly, the person we win, the election is credible. Do we not win the election is not credible, and we not trust NEC or ECSL. I'll give a simple example. From 2023 to now, the Commission has conducted over 60 paramount chieftaincy elections all over the country. As recent as this past weekend, na Bombali Sebora, we are conducting elections. People are accepting the elections. It is not partisan election, but the community way we conduct all of them paramount chieftaincy elections, in the process they go on, people they accept them. But when it comes to partisan processes, then the issue of trust they come. So our make family understand, say, when you look at the political narrative, it is always like that. In 2007, just like within Professor talk, depending on who that win and who that not win, we had the same issue. So this trust issue, not like 2023, it came. In 2007,
we always get trust issue with
we
the
always
opposition.
get trust issue.
But we don't win.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yes, but the good thing is, for the last 20 years, we've conducted elections where, on 2 occasions, opposition party, they beat government. So that, now for tell you, see, for us, it's not about trusting us. Go into the polls, do all which you get for do, and win the elections. But most times, the trust issue they come, in 2007, the government then did not trust because they went into opposition, whilst the opposition went into governance. In 2018, we had the same situation. So we've always suffered from that issue of trust based on not what we are doing. And the thing is, it not mean say because you not trust me, not mean say the ECSL not been doing work. Because the trust issue is perceptive. Now make I give example to the paramount chieftaincy elections, the way they conduct. They go on fine, normal. And again, there is a way for make we get over this trust issue. The court. To be very sincere, when it didn't have the laws of Sierra Leone.
But I have a lawyer here yesterday where they say no get confidence in the court
It's
system.
just unfortunate. No, it's
So
just unfortunate.
that's the whole thing about it.
No, well, there are provisions within the electoral process. Say if you dissatisfy with the process, you go to the court. The reason why it's important for go to court, it's part of the jurisprudence. Whether you get justice or not, it is on record.
Say you go court.
You go court. But Salon now, most
By the way, Albert is a lawyer.
Thank you. Salon now, most people are let it go. But they go spend the whole time they discuss about, hey, I'm not glad, trust issue. Go test the court, make you not get. Then a good day as part of precedent. The jurisprudence now go say, where this may happen now, so it go. But most times, when people test the court, then they get justice. Because when you test the court, you get evidence. But now, the commission, they suffer from quote-unquote trust issue. People in way, they can't go to court. And the laws where we get in Sierra Leone, actually there are provisions that if you want for test the integrity of processes, you want for test trust issues, you don't go to the court. For me, try the process. Make the process not work. But we have a situation, people don't. The reason why I had the stress on them paramount chieftaincy, we are conducting elections. Though not to buy election now, but we are conducting another set of elections, paramount chieftaincy elections. And people are winning elections, people are losing, and people, they take the matter going to high court. Like if some people get issues with the paramount chieftaincy, then they go to court, and the court, they give justice. So these are all parts of the process. But when you sit down and not trust the process, you do not go to court, then you are not helping the process. So I make family not say the issue of trust, one, it's a political
But when
narrative.
open to scrutiny as an
Of course,
institution as
of
well.
course.
Where do you meet with the political parties for understand if they get concerns, and how do they waiting at the apart from the courts, waiting at the redress mechanism about concerns they could have, about processes and systems?
Well, the first redress mechanism now the courts.
Yeah, I understand that.
elections.
That then after election.
No, even during elections.
No, I mean, yes, I understand that.
That's
But
the
I
first
mean
one.
in preparation for the election.
Okay.
Say they have concerns. There's this issue about this, about
Well,
this.
engagement. We get what we call PPLC, Political Parties Liaison Committee. We now the ECSL, they engage with political parties within the law. Within the law, we dey discuss matters how we get to go about conducting the electoral processes, but within the law. Now the issue is we cannot agree all of us at the same time, and in most cases the position of the ECSL is constant within the law, but it depends now who say various political parties then dey. If you get a policy where sometimes party W accept, it's okay for them. But if party why not accept that policy when are within the law, then trust issue they come inside. No, you dey favor that party, you dey favor. We can tell and say we not dey favor any party, but rather this is what the law states. I dey give you a typical example. The interpretation of section 92, 93 in the Public Elections Act, the issue of how, when we don't conduct elections, how we forgo about counting of the election results and then processes then they. It clearly not the law, but even during the PPLC engagement then the interpretation vary from different political parties, and we go by waiting the law states. For example, Section 92, Section 93 of the Public Elections Act, it make them clear say after the conduct of polls, the presiding officer record all of them information, and the RRF give all the parties the data, because for me it's data.
Yeah.
Because other people interpretation of data is when it is electronic. For us, the RRF is election disaggregated data.
Okay.
When we give from polling station level, it go to the district level, then up to national level. That is the interpretation. But most political parties, or some political parties, they get different interpretation of how you look at the various laws. So even the trust issue get to do with interpretation. But again, who that they interpret law in Sierra Leone? It is the court. So most times when we have disagreement, I want to appeal to not only political parties but citizens. Let us go to the court so that some of these interpretations, we can still conduct the process, but it is being interpreted so that at the end of the day, it is only the court that will tell the Electoral Commission that, no, this decision that you took should have been done this way, or this is the right way or the credible way.
So one of the things we don't they come up with the appointment of Edmond Alpha is this allegation from the opposition, mostly about an election in is it Falaba? Koinadugu. And I had Adi Makolina yesterday was saying in have been the legal person, the retainer for the possible contest in that election. They say one of the things where they ask for let able challenge the matter in a court now that the whole result for be gazetted before able go court. But waiting are really the story of waiting happen na Koinadugu with that number changing allegation the way the opposition.
Well, first it was an allegation, and the allegation is now Edmond Alpha 9 change 47 to 147.
Yes.
That was a misrepresentation. Now let us look at the electoral process, the structure. We don't have any electoral commissioner with a serve as presiding officer. And let me use this opportunity for quote Dr. Afari Chan, which he always can say. Now, being the former chief electoral commissioner in Ghana, he said elections like development, they happen at local level. The same for elections. All electoral processes they happen now polling station. Polling station are the electoral processes that happen. Meaning when voters don't come, then vote. We don't count the election results. That's IRF. Then are the results reconciliation form. They enter all of the data, the disaggregated. It means say waiting candidate A gets, candidate B gets, even if now Mr. Invalid votes, we put everything in. That is the disaggregated data. That the result that. And the law make provision say every political party forgets party agent. Now all of these stations, the responsibility of the political party now forget all of the information and they just gather all of your RRFs. Those ones are the real evidence if you want to go to court. Now you can't ask the commission for produce something we already don't do at polling station level. This is where we have disagreement. Now ECSL provide them for us. The law don't make them clear. You know, when you look at the laws of Sierra Leone, it make them clear say the election results now at polling station level now you give party agents. So those are the most important documents because even when you do tally of election results, now the aggregation of then polling station results, and if you get 30 polling stations, you take all one by one. Now they do input for make you get the certified election results. So the best is the polling station results when are the RRF. Forget about all other things where you talk about. If you are not able to get those ones, and
so it's not possible anybody change number, change figure?
No, the issue now about now Edmond Alpha change. Why Asena misrepresentation? He was not the presiding officer at that level. Yes, he's superintendent. Now in that be the commissioner we be in charge. We had 2 by-elections, one for council and one for one ward. Because he was in charge, and even when the allegation came, it was Edmond Alpha, when I've been the commissioner, now the tally center, I was there. We say, okay, if now this person will say now in do the itself, would they put them aside? We went through over the process again. What we do is all of the RRFs, everything what we do in elections, now the RRF, that's the base. We started the process again. And we not only, in fact, at polling station level, we get the RRF who they put in a T, tamper evidence envelope for the tally center. We get others who they put for the district. So we get various copies. Because the allegation don't come say the RRF gets issue. The tally center RRF, he called Commissioner Alpha, so okay, you will now bring the district copies. You get national copies, district copies. That was the reason why we not even complete the process. Now, Kabbalah, we came to Wellington. We are in looking at the copy, one set we use for the tally center. We also corroborate if then change Nayanda it change. At the end of the day, we looked at everything. The commission announced results. So some of these allegations, people will say it, but they don't follow up. What the commission do is, one, it was an allegation. What the commission did was, okay, if we get allegation about election results, parties then get their own copy, with the check. Or the district T, we insert a different set of copies. I want for see side, one person, they change all of these. We had different copies of results. So what the commission did was to bring all of these different copies of the same election results we put inside at polling station level. Then the commission went through and did the tally process and eventually announced the
number change.
No, what we are saying, what the commission did was to bring the district
and verify.
And at the end of the day,
but there were no changes?
No. There was nothing like that. Because at the end of the day, what the commission did was we announced election results. And the one we win, he win for both the district as well as the ward. So the allegation only tap, you change number. But what the commission did was, okay, if you say this, let's put this one aside, let's call for the district copy. Let's call for other copies for corroborate. And at the end of the day, the process went seamlessly, and there is a report to that effect.
Okay, Albert, at the council, you doc for left we get some engagements. I just want to run through, this document, like I say, very insightful and very important. What the next step forward? We get the amendment bill within a parliament presently, and the conversation they around which kind of election we get. Waiting at the next step where IGR therefore do with this document with regards to possibly influencing how the electoral system therefore look like.
Thank you, Namana. So one thing, the Minister of Justice has been very open. As I said, if we don't invite, if we don't actually reach out to women's organizations, other organizations for say, if una wants for influence them, or if I get issues, anything we want for ad, reach out. So there was that opening. Parliament as well, we don't call for position papers. We don't ask the public for, say, write something and engage we. We want for meet with Parliament and talk to Parliament, take them through this document. We also call for a technical, you really need somebody, we get expert knowledge in this. People are from the region, we get different countries around Africa where actually they practice a mixed political system. Germany, if you want to go to Europe, then they practice a mixed political system. It's great that ECSL is here. So that they also engage in the conversation. We want for meet with different civil society organizations where they do this work as well, for see how we can engage, forget the electoral system where we as citizens deserve forget. I mean,
how about the political parties?
And the political parties.
Yes,
and the parties.
Them on this.
In fact, so the issue though now, because even when we want for go inside to Parliament get for debate this, right?
Yeah.
So Parliament, guys now we not get all the parties in Parliament, and definitely we want to engage with the political parties, because where we they talk, say we move away from PR versus FPTP, the party that all gets incentives. You know, under the 6 elections,
it's about control.
Then gets incentives. 3 first past the post were won by APC. 3 PR were won by SLPP. So there are political incentives over this, but usai we dey as citizens. So the other thing, I just listen to the conversation where he gets with Albert, and he's right. Where it can to the way in which ECSL, even elections and fairness of elections, it depends on usai you dey. I mean, I don't talk. If you're in the south and the east, you actually get almost 100% of people that we say they trust ECSL. If you're in the north and the northwest, you get most. Not trust in the elections, not trust in ECSL, trust in elections. So they see this polarization as something where they really affect we. If we want to take a hybrid system on board, that's something where the hybrid system can really address. Let we move away from where SLPP come into power, all the APC people then they come out. Where APC come into power, all the SLPP people there. At least that's the perception. So we need to move beyond that one.
The president being recommend taking PR system into the executive arm of government. This gets in any way for influence with what could happen next if this hybrid system is adopted?
So I think in all things, again, we get for come back to sincerity of purpose, right? There's some concerns that if you take that approach, what do you mean for an independent, for critical perspectives? Does that mean that somebody will now be just doing what the ruling party wants, irrespective of whose party they're inside government? So sincerity of mind, sincerity of purpose in all of this is important. We ask for something where you go get more parties in power, in parliament, where something where if you campaign, you not just the campaign to your base, because that's what they do right now. But instead, political parties then go get policy agendas where responsive to it is citizens and they ask them for do. So rather than you just basically say campaign for me because if you campaign for me, you own lots go better. No, campaign because if I come out APC, I still make sure say people places that are the south and the east, then they do well. If I'm SLPP, I work for everybody all across this country. Right now, it's not happening. So I just want to take you through the seat allocation because that one they get, where we talk about incentives where different parties then get. The seat allocation is very important. We don't see under first past the post where you get winner take all. If you're there in a place where you maybe one party get 40% of the votes, the other party gets 60, the party gets 60%, they take everything. Like you an example of which we see in the 2018 elections. NGC been get 8.7% of the votes. 8.7%. They took 4 seats. C4C been get 4.8%, so almost half. They took double the number of seats. So you see that, and that was first past the post. It actually disenfranchised smaller parties because you get one party where we get double the votes, but half the number of seats. Why? Because C4C being concentrated inside Kono, then we get nearly all the seats in Kono. NGC will be more widespread, end up for them votes, because they were so scattered, they'll not be able to get enough seats. So that is show you waiting they incentivize this idea of la concentrate on my region because I take everything.
Yeah.
We need a system where you dey force the political parties not for just think of their own regions, their own strongholds, but they actually campaign for we all, and then they work for we all. And that's we want to foresee. That's the sincerity of purpose at the talk about.
Thank you so much, Prof. Quickly, before you go, you talk about how the people can vote for elect who that go down at the list. How does that work? Is it going to be concentrated on just people who support one political party, or is generally people?
It's generally. So the one way, like how Germany they do, it's actually general. You campaign, and based on how you campaign, citizens then they elect you and they vote for you. So maybe you go get one person, we get maybe if that person get 20%. That there's a 2-tier system. This is one example. Now, I say you really need technical people for explain this, and you need more time. But you can get a two lists. One, now the list of the political parties where they determine the percentage seats that the parties get in parliament. The other list is the individuals. So people that they vote for individuals, then you can also vote for the party. So let me say one individual gets 50 or 40% of the votes, but the party gets 20% of the votes. You allocate based on the individual votes where the individuals then get, but the amount of individuals where they take from any one party depends on the percentage of votes where that party gets on the other list. So they combine all two. You make sure, say, irrespective of you make sure, say, all parties, all shades are in parliament. So small parties, I make back with the talk, say you get for lower the threshold. So small parties and independent parties go get a chance. But at the same time, the people that where they go on and the order in which then they go on that list depends on the percentage of votes which citizens then give them. So that way you take citizens in account.
Inclusivity and yes, people and participate. The process open. And I think it got address this issue of it's just the ruling party and the main opposition. Exactly. So you get other players na parliament, na council and all of that. Because what is happening in parliament now, it's because the opposition not there. It's just the ruling party. But if you get an hybrid system like that, the way like how we get NGC, C4C,
exactly, rainbow.
It helps with the process.
And even 1996, we get actually the most around 6 different parties will be there inside government: SLPP, UNPP, PDP, NUP, APC, DCP. You get a whole range because you get beaucoup different people and be votes for beaucoup of the different parties, and then each will get a percentage. So it translates the percentage share where you get the number of seats inside parliament. We need to move away from this 2-party system in order to benefit.
Well, quick one, Doc, I want to reference you to before now we get an electoral system where we get multi-member wards.
Yes.
It not happen at Freetown. First we get like the Makini City Council, Koiduni Sembem City Council. We had similar situation. We get the longest ballot papers where in each party they get all of them candidates. So it left with you when are the voter. If you get for take 4 people for vote for 4 people, you can vote for party A 1 person, party B another person, party C another person. So you put all of the candidates where you just talk. It just remind me of how we operate the multi-member ward system before every ward now not exist again. But it not been there at Freetown. We get a system where we get multi-member wards for Makini City Council, Koiduni Sembem City Council, Bo City Council, and Kenema. Wherein if now 3 wards or 4 wards, each party they send 4 candidates. Party W 4 candidates, party Y 4 candidates. So you get a longer ballot. You left with the candidate, the voter now for choose in best 4.
Okay.
It can go for all for one party or 1-1-1-1. At the end of the day, the most popular.
You get alternative.
They get alternative. So maybe if you do that research,
finally, Doc, Usai, if people want to read these documents, how do they access it?
Because they can go on the website. So all of IGR publications are all there on the website. So they can go on that website. So they can engage in conversation. And as we said, we really want to forget a national conversation around this. Let we move away from this PR versus first past the post. Because as we said, it not the benefits we. And somebody there, you get other countries and where they do a hybrid system. Many countries are doing it, and it work. The one critique where people that don't talk about or don't bring forward is it can be very complicated. First past the post is easy. PR can be complicated. But if you meld all two, then you get the complications of PR, you get some of the complications of first past the post. But we can, just because something complicated, not mean say we not for do If we feel saying as something we go actually benefit we as citizens, we can get education from primary school. Let we students level school begin and know how we they vote, how we they allocate seats. Let we begin to get that conversation all through. Tell you each university and attending for London today. No, let we start from where people.
Thank you so much, Professor Fredlin, for your time, and we say go share the document hopefully now we social so people go see. It's very very insightful and maybe no read and two and they get the points them and hopefully it will help with the conversation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, Albert, you will be very busy if whatever electoral process we adopt. Like I asked you earlier, there are recommendations in the tripartite way for help for reform electoral system before 2028. How far the commission don't go with them policies, programs, and activities as part of the reform process?
Yeah, thank you very much again. For make family understand the context, the tripartite recommendation, they into three folds. You get the one that they deal with constitutional amendment, they're outside of our purview. You get the other one na statutory provisions. Then you get the one where you don't say na regulations and policies and all of them kind of things. And we have done a lot. Make I just go through basically. The commission don't develop draft policies of one which we call stakeholders consultation. There is a policy, though draft. And notably, the issue of management and sharing of electoral information as a policy, we also don't draft that. Now, so the tripartite recommendation, if you go to recommendation 1, 2, 3, 4, and then things that they talk about, even the issue of recruitment of ad hoc staff, these are all policies. But again, they are in draft form. These policies were drafted since last year. But again, this is one of the reasons why a good way we get a chief electoral commissioner and chairman we properly seated. Because some of these things, even when you do them, in the acting capacity, they get the weight. But when you get a chief electoral commissioner we properly seated, you get the gravitas now for push some of them policies here. And what thing we need for do now is they are in the draft form, we don't do consultations, but these policies would have to be validated, wherein we bring political parties, stakeholders, civil society, we validate them policies here. So now, like when we get a properly seated chief electoral commissioner now, you get the gravitas now for take some of these policies now and move with them and say we can validate them now and move on. That's the main reason why even with strategic plan 2025 to 2029, even when we don't get a draft, it was difficult for we put everything together and validate them. So it's necessary that we now have a chief electoral commissioner in that substantive position or capacity. And all them policies are now, then they in draft, but we need to move another step for validate them. Now, make I continue for talk about other recommendations from the tripartite, how far we don't go about them. We don't get series of technical discussions on regulations. Then also we don't engage the Office of the Attorney General several times. ECSL, we don't make input to the constitutional provisions as well as the statutory provisions. Even like the draft bill within our parliament, we said we don't make we own contributions. But there's nothing we can do until these ones pass through parliament. I mean, we don't do we own bits. We also don't engage with the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education because there's an issue of talking about civic education as a taught course into schools. It's part of the recommendation. That also is a process that is ongoing.
They're going to improve being the talk for teach people.
Yes. And notably, we also get other activities. For example, the issue of NCRA, consultations with NCRA, because we have a recommendation where they talk about an engagement with NCRA for make we develop an integrated roadmap for the registration.
Yeah.
That process is also ongoing. But some of these recommendations, they start some are ongoing, you will not complete them.
Mhm.
Because some recommendations, and they will become effective in 2027, some in 2028. So you will not complete them.
Okay.
But the ones the way we don't complete, they are all in draft forms.
Mhm.
For example, this issue of stakeholders engagement policy.
Yeah.
And we are meeting with stakeholders.
But that's how I ask, how inclusive the process they be, how una they ensure say, the players them, maybe people them where we don't they monitor elections, the political players them, technical experts, the civil society, the media, include in the
Well, the point where we did now for validate some of them draft policies. The 29th of this April, the chairman established that we're going to have enforced PPLC, Political Parties Liaison Committee, and I'm sure that is going to be a very big platform for make all of them issues that come to the fold. And immediately after that, the commission is going to embark on regional engagement, because these policies, they are in draft forms. We get series of policies, but if we not validate them, that validation session, now they would engage with political parties, because they said they can give their own bite. Civil society, the media, we all they come. Now when we don't go through that, those validation sessions becomes a document. When I work in document, as roadmap for the 2020.
Are we in the electoral cycle already?
We are in the electoral cycle, but again, one thing we don't peg our strategic plan now, because we've not been get substantive chairperson, but now we have one. We're ready for push the 2025-2029 electoral, the strategic plan. We inside now get the 2028 elections. We are in the cycle, but again, it would have been difficult. But because we now get a substantive chief electoral commissioner, we are coming to push all of these, because even our strategic plan. Can you imagine? It is 2025 to 2029. We are in 2026. Then I will tell you, say we need for validate them.
Delay don't happen with certain things some way for the happen we not happen.
Well, not to delay as such, but the fact that some of the things we for happen in 2025, we've been doing them, but these are administrative things like trainings and all of these things. But the core things, as in operational, now in 2026. So we not get any time, but for go into them, for make we continue. That is
the amendment bill within a parliament right now. We get some aspect. I talked to the Attorney General, he was saying they want do the electoral issues them quick before the election. So get like what you will get the last month or short time to the election, you get lost them within a parliament and all of that. It gets anything for do with on a strategic plan and waiting on a for do for the election?
Yes. That now maybe if we talk about 2025 off, those recommendations would have been part of, because as it is now, whatever they now with strategic plan, we get what we call eventualities. In the event it happens so or not. For example, if you read with strategic plan now, you get the extant law, the current law as it is.
Now they work with.
Because now in the law.
Yeah.
But in the event it change, we get provision within the strategic plan. Say if the laws change, I mean, seemingly we'll just go into the other system. So all of them things that don't slow the process. That's our hope, that all the recommendations within our parliament then go pass as soon as possible, so that we better prepared as a roadmap for 2028.
Okay. There is also the recommendation about inclusivity and national resemblance of recruitment, in people in way una de hire na the commission. How far una don't go with that?
Well, that's the policy I'm talking about. The policy of ad hoc staff recruitment. There is a draft policy, but we are yet to validate it. And because we get now the substantive chairman, he ready now for push some of these policies out, for make one, we engage with political parties, two, with stakeholders, and we move around the country. No sooner these policies are validated, then they become working documents.
So what's in at the time where ECSL need for able, validate the document they are, put things in place for prepare better ahead of the election?
Well, instead of the time, maybe let's look at the processes. Before we validate document first, there has to be a draft, and during the drafting of these documents, we've been going around the regions, engage with political parties. So we now have the draft document. But these documents would have to be validated, meaning we get regional engagement. Within a month, all of these engagements could not happen. Or even less than a month, all of these engagements could not happen. Then after we get from the regional, we come to a national validation. No sooner it is validated from a national perspective, then we have a working document for everybody to use.
ECSL get the capacity if in case the country agrees, say, we forget diaspora voting?
We always get capacity for conduct all types of elections. We have so many people, we get over 20 years of electoral experience. We have the capacity. The capacity is not about the expertise and manpower. Maybe if the country get the capacity for fund that, that will be the discussion. But if not for capacity, as far as the ECSL is concerned, we do have abundantly the human resource capacity for conduct all types of elections.
Is there enough time now in case then they come into play?
There is always time, because we still have roughly 2 years to the electoral process. We have not even done registration of voters, because now the key and important thing that now when you do registration, you're able to determine, because registration is part of the planning process.
What's in the projection for start registration? What's in with as part of a strategic plan?
Yes, if you look at the timeline, now 2027. Now preparation for make we go into that. When we talk about preparation, like procurement and planning, and even the issue of registration center mapping, because we need for map all of with 3,300 plus centers. It is possible some registration centers no longer they exist, or population dynamics and shift don't occur. Sometimes when I've been registration center and I've been buffer, now there is a new school. So we need for actually get all of them mapped in a day. For 2026, we ensure say all we registration points, we ensure we get all of them and map them and know say these are the areas where we're going to do registration. And the commission always gets policy, the 10% increase. So during this registration center mappings, we look at the dynamics, demography, and all of them things in there for make we ensure say the 10%, because for the last 4 cycles, every election cycle, the commission as a policy, they always increase registration centers by 10%. So even for this one, if we are doing the registration center mappings, but again, we get to engage with the political parties, all our stakeholders, so that they understand that whilst we are doing these registration center mappings, for identify existing centers or get good and proper centers from the one that will not be there, depending on the new developments, and fuse in the 10% of new centers. When we don't complete them processes, then this year, come 2027, we go into the registration proper. We know that we have registration centers well located, where everybody going to go publicize.
Finally, Albert, there's this report, this press statement from the Bombali District Human Rights Committee, with the issue yesterday, say, and they condemn ECSL after National Election Watch new observer them, then say them forcibly remove them from Paramount Chieftaincy election Bombali Shebora Chiefdom. What is this issue with new and ECSL about elections observation?
ECSL deal with a lot of stakeholders. We get hundreds of stakeholders where we deal with. The issue is we don't have perpetual relationship with any institution. Why I say that? It is cyclical. Between 2020 and 2024, we signed a memorandum of understanding with all of these institutions. 2024 don't come. That was a cycle. We are done with that. Moving forward, what the commission is doing now is every other institution, we're ready for work with the Electoral Commission. We come and sit down as partners. We sign fresh memorandum of understanding moving forward. That's the first level. Then secondly, for every electoral process, you have to seek for accreditation. My department, external relations, we do accreditation. We will not get any
What's in a relationship with new?
No, I'm not talking about relationship with one institution.
No, I'm talking about new because now the leading. No, but if you talk about election, observer mission.
If you wait, make I explain.
Okay, go ahead.
The background where Adigi is for these primary chieftaincy elections. When we get requests for accreditation for observe these processes, we give accreditation.
They didn't apply for.
There is no record. There is no record of. So if somebody go for observe a process where you not get accreditation, a day in the laws that if you go for observe a process, you don't have accreditation, you need to get access. The only people in they enter polling station, like for primary chieftaincy, now the TAs, they are already accredited because the names, they get the receipts, the names DD. So the issue is about let us follow procedures. Let an institution apply for accreditation, they not give them accreditation.
What's in our relationship with new?
We don't have any relationship as in we have a close one or a tight one. What we are saying.
But you used to, no?
No, we don't have perpetual. Perpetual
no, I understand.
Means,
it not go be say, but on all then at the ecosystem.
Yes.
Then they complement what they do. You've got that relationship.
We have hundreds of institutions.
I understand that. I'm asking specifically about new because concerns have been coming up about a strained relationship with Reverend Don Sido also. They talk about how, they're not being included in certain things within new.
Only what I'm saying, the ECS will not get anything against, or rather with new, because one, we are going into a new cycle. So if there is going to be any development moving forward as partnership, we need to work together.
But I recognize them as a
there is state institution. There is state institution. We recognize every Sierra Leonean. There is state institution.
Okay.
But waiting with they say is all political parties, all civil society, we are in partnership. But we have to bring that partnership into reality by doing it in the proper way.
There should be a document.
Of course. For example, the issue of you go to a polling station, they tell you for go out. The first thing is wait for ask yourself, I get accreditation for go there. Then if you don't get, don't complain.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Albert. And which assurance, message of assurance you want left with Sierra Leoneans that wanna go possibly or work with the other political party, them the 2 or 1.5, as you say, for build confidence and trust within the process?
Well, let me clarify first that 2 and 1.5.
Yeah.
I say 1.5 because UP, according to the letter we then send, then we don't make them position clear about the disapproval of Edmond. But if PPLC come, they go attend.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they say 1.5.
Okay.
Not so like we want to make them look small and all of that, because we respect all registered political parties. The assurance is that the commission's doors are open. We have an open door policy. Whether it is for political parties, civil society, we can discuss on the table. We really discuss NADU. That's the reason why the commission don't send 2 sets of correspondence to the APC. And we hope that they will see reason and join, because the roadmap for 2028, we now have a chief electoral commissioner we properly seated with the start time. And this 29th of April, where we get the first PPLC join Edmond Alpha in tenure. I'm sure a lot of things the way we get for discourse. So let's take the opportunity. Even if you have reservations, come to the table and let's continue. The reason being, there's a difference in electoral activities and political. Most of the time, the narrative is about politics. Unfortunately, ECSL, we don't dilate or discuss or meddle into political issues.
Okay.
For us, we look at electoral issues. And the chief electoral commissioner done ready for make we push plans and arrangement for 2028. So we want every player. We are the referee. You ain't a player. Don't concentrate on the referee. Concentrate on the ball. Devise your strategy, how you for beat other team. But if you focus on the referee, it's unfortunate. And I make people know, say, even in elections, we have VAR. The VAR, now the court.
Okay.
If you don't go to court, then the VAR no they come out. Don't concentrate on the referee, because the referee always get VAR we get for depend on, and the VAR they promote and protect we all when at the court. So do ya put your strategies in place, work towards that, and win election. And I'll complete by saying, this is the Electoral Commission we don't conduct 4 general elections with 2 opposition win against ruling party. So that means 2028 it's always open, like how 2007 be open, like how 2018 be open, where anybody can win elections.
Yeah.
So that's the message I have for send out. Say, just put your strategies in place, work well, do everything you're supposed to do, and go into the pitch of play and win the elections. Don't concentrate
by the game.
Concentrate by the game.
Don't concentrate by the referee.
No, and besides, we get VAR win at the court.
Yeah, thank you so much, Albert Masakoy, Director of External Outreach, the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone. And when they talk about, some of the reforms and the plans for the election. We'll take a quick break. There's this story. We can talk to Dr. Mustafa Kaba. There's this, distribution or where the Ministry of Health been go over the weekend and go na Kenema and go Moyamba and go do some inspection. We'll take that story the way my colleague David do, then we can talk to Dr. Kaba. Continue for stay with me.
Over the weekend, the Minister of Health, Dr. Austin Dembi, been go work on Moyamba for inspect the 100-bed specialized hospital where governments they build. Been talk say, Salon they move enter one new phase now na healthcare delivery. We start and focus not just on primary care again, but strong specialized service system across the country.
Well, for the longest time, we've focused on taking healthcare as close to the people as possible. And that's what we call primary health care. At the same time, we haven't invested enough in the secondary and tertiary care. So even as we do this great work with primary health care, if there's a failure in primary health care, there's a very difficult landing zone. What we've been doing lately is to double down on our primary health care effort, but at the same time, invest in secondary and tertiary care. That's why you see us working at Connaught, at PCMH, at the major provincial hospitals. But at the same time, you need to invest also in secondary care in district hospitals. So what we have here in Moyamba today is one of those hospitals, which is a 100-bed hospital.
The minister be explain say the projects are part of our wider plan will include similar hospitals them na Pujon and Karine for make district hospitals them go able for handle serious medical cases them instead of food and they refer patients them na Freetown.
It is part of a triumvirate. We're doing one in Pujon, one here in Moyamba, and one in Karine. So my visit here today is to see how much progress is being made in the Moyamba project.
During the visit, Ian and Timbe visits the wards, the maternity units, the theatre, the ICU, the nursery and other sections in the hospital. Been talk say the focus not only just on the construction, but also key systems like water supply, electricity and medical oxygen are important for save life them.
Again, the other thing we're looking at is the energy solution. We would like this hospital to be nearly standalone off-grid if possible. So we're looking at some solar solutions for the energy. So we'll do an energy audit to see what the complete energy need is for now until 2030, and to see how we could bring some of the solar solution, looking at lithium-ion battery solution. The other thing we're looking at is the water situation, so we could make this standalone. We're looking for a deep enough borehole to hit the aquifer that will allow unlimited supply of water for this kind of facility that will require a lot of water.
Dr. Dembi been talk say health workers them also for they involved in the final design stage so that the building will match real clinical needs like patients' movement, wider corridors them and proper maternity care. Dr. Dembi been same also clarify say the new facility not they replace Moyamba Government Hospital but go work with some specialized referral center.
And we have a district hospital there. So what we want to do, we don't want the public to migrate from that hospital to this new hospital. So we're going to build up the old hospital to its true state and make this a specialty hospital. So we're looking for more advanced care.
And it be end up for say the projects funded by Islamic Development Bank and they expect for complete them by October or before the end of the year.
In terms of the funding, this is a loan from the Islamic Development Bank. It's a fairly decent concessional loan. And I think the maturity of it is, I don't know, maybe 50 years or so. We will work on that, but again, it's for 3 hospitals here in Mayamba, in Pujao, and in Karine. We'll ensure that every penny of that loan is used for the intended purpose, and we, the public of Sierra Leone, have a return on that investment.
As work still continue, the Moyamba Specialized Hospital will team up as a symbol of change from the basic care to one stronger and more advanced health care now. And if they complete them as planned, it will reduce the pressure on Afriton and will give people in the district better chance for quick quality treatment where they need them the most. For Truth Media, Mina Davida Spence Solomon.
Many thanks to Davida Spence Solomon for that report there as he been travel with the team from the Ministry of Health, go na Moyamba and Kenema, for do inspection and also hand over some medical equipment na the Kenema government hospital. I get Dr. Kaba with me, we na the deputy chief medical officer in charge of clinical services. Good morning, Doc, and welcome.
Good morning, Lamrana.
Yes.
Thank you for having me here.
I think it's been a busy April, on the 2nd, with President Bio, binde na Connaught Hospital, Usai also do commissioning and the Bond Center as well. Usai we dey presently as a country with we health system. Me and you been the talk just now. I was saying, waiting me to see is that you're building foundation with time, maybe 5-10 years from now, we go don't get infrastructure and equipment for address the health sector in this country. Which are we there presently?
I think we are on a very good footing, and Sierra Leoneans there at this moment for be very proud of the tangible progress within the sea. This all anchored on a very strong foundation for make we transform the entire health sector in terms of how they provide service to our people, making it services accessible, have quality in the services, and also decentralized. But for that to happen, you really get for make sure so you get some building blocks for work on. We work on the primary healthcare building block, make sure that we get healthcare as close to the community as possible. You see what is happening. We have so many of them. What we are trying to inject in them is the quality. You get the secondary and tertiary services within the hospitals, like we see do Bond Center. We bring in CT scans, we do open up solar systems for health infrastructures. We do make sure so they get the requisite human resource we they need. Now for strengthening the secondary system, if the primary system now will take care of the patients, and also for provide advanced care. But you get forget between them to them, you get for link them. If I want to come out under primary care, one can secondary, how do I come? If I'm a pregnant woman, I need care. So now the referral networks, you also get for strengthening, bringing the ambulance services. And a lot of work has also been going on in that tribe. You see the response time, people are no longer paying for fuel for ambulances, and the services that we don't provide, we don't see the impact in the mortality outcomes that we get in our facilities. Where you get all these three, you get from member of the health sector. Once in a while, it has to be challenged by outbreaks, by pandemics, by disease like the last time we get COVID, we don't get Mpox. So, but when you get these challenges, you get for also continue to provide routine services as well as manage these challenges. So, your healthcare system also get for be robust enough to provide the adequate health security.
Are we investing, with what we see recently, are we investing in infrastructure and equipment, or also looking at personnel? Because the healthcare system goes just beyond the infrastructure, the building, the equipment. How about the personnel?
Of course, you get for do all. You get for do, your health institution, not just the building, when at the infrastructure, where you don't talk about electricity, you get oxygen, you get everything. They get to look at the equipment where the staff they need. Then after that, you get to get the staff. Then for be motivated. Then for show compassionate care. Then for be highly skilled and trained. So now a whole package. Anyone will left out of it. You need to get the outcome we want. So now make we do all. If you see like right now in this country, for the first time in the history of this country, we did train we own specialists and now people that we specialize in specific areas in medicine. We're not just general doctors, but now this level of people that we need in the country for make you provide that high level care where people they need. So if you look right now, over 150 doctors, they need this kind of training from various fields of medicine, starting from general medicine, surgery, pediatrics, OBGYN, and the rest. We don't even set up a neurosurgical unit in Connaught. We don't train people. Then 3 of the doctors in the diaspora, they train. 1 don't come, they set the unit. And we train nurses in special care nursing, anesthesia care, nurse anesthetist, critical care nursing, they come on board, you know. So if you do all of this, right, you get to make sure, say, the staff who you don't train also feel comfortable for working at the facility and happy for work for government. So if you see what happened recently, we're going to Kenima, where Nabo, where the president launched 10 buses. 10 buses. 5 of them are 50-seater, the other 5 were 38-seater buses. Not only for Freetown, but also for the regions, so that the staff are able to go work and come in a very conducive environment with dignity. Because what's in the happen now, on bike, some people then they sit down. We get some incident where we get a colleague where the government don't invest a lot in family don't invest in before they become an anesthetist. If we go on call, he sat on a bike, had a head injury, and he died. And we don't see several of these kind of things that happen. So one of the things that we do now for do this. The next one now for give them housing, plan. So you're looking at training and retaining this highly skilled personnel what they get. But the advantage about conducting the training locally is that while they train, they also provide
then
service.
Yeah, okay.
If I send in now go Ghana, now Ghana hospital they go for the Ghanaians. But where they are, the training what they do in medicine at that level, now like more of a practical training. You go sit down a lecture room again, but you really work on patients. Afterwards, you get your logbook, you sign up, they will take a final exam sometime.
This investment, we see very huge kind of investment this month, like I say, commission strategic health infrastructure, CT scan, ultrasound, and bones units, na Connaught Hospital. We see waiting, like you mentioned, waiting the president's commission, and we also see the equipment we una hand over na Kenema Hospital. Are all these government investments or not partners them support?
No, this is government investment. Of course, the government to go out and especially this current wave of investment, we don't deal with partners a lot. They don't help a lot. And sometimes some of the support they come from part. The bonds unit was done through support from Leon Oil and NP after the Wellington fire incident. They'll get some partners there, Intersurge and Research Africa, we help equip them. The CT scans now through His Excellency in effort where they go out and with the minister for advocate for this country, some of his friends and give some resources. They say, okay, let's allocate this in the health sector through the Minister of Health, and we make the priorities that we need these things, and we bought it. So the buses, the CT scans, the accommodation, all is that under that same package. And also now there are some incentives on training also they come through that package for support the people that are waiting in training for at least for get some allowance, so that people that know the things that go to my coca for augment my salary, but they try for get them allowance and if they get for do external rotations. That funds will be also available for them.
The management of the equipment there, the capacity, because, the thing is, we're having this for the first time, right?
Yeah.
And how what's in the sustainable plan and the management of them?
I think there's a very good question, an excellent question. When they bring such sophisticated devices in a country like us, I think we need to get the kind of manpower to manage them. So if you don't have it, you have to have a different model. So what we do is that we partner with ICAP and Columbia University, USA, for help with the procurement, the installation, and the training of our staff. So this process has been going on for close to a year to where we are now today. We have trained our staff, the equipment are installed, and now moving forward from this point, what do you do? So with the wisdom of the minister and the ministry leadership and partners and supporters, we don't come to a conclusion, say, okay, let's have a framework arrangement around its operations. Instead of we just leave it in the hands of the hospital as usual, and the hospital is not yet ready to manage it to that level, let's bring an arrangement around it wherein we can train the hospital teams around it so that at least after 3-4 years they can run with it. So we have like a private-public partnership arrangement with AMI on this. So to run, manage, operate it, maintain the devices, and also continue to train at both sides, not only Freetown but Kenema. So they are coupled. And apart from these CT scans, you have ultrasound devices, which are high-end devices, which are in the district hospitals. We have 10 of them. And within the CT scan, what the CT scan can do, most of these devices can also do, just that the CT scan is a bit more advanced. So in those community hospitals and district hospitals, we have this network of radiology devices networked together. And all of this through the radiology department now, we also start for training. We own doctors, therefore specialize here. The faculty, the department, they get the accreditation from the West African College of Surgeons for make we begin train we own people that are locally. So 4 doctors, they already don't enroll, they don't pass them primaries, and then they start the training. This, all of it is also linked with Columbia University at the back end. They provide mentorship support, supervision support, and technical support on the managing of these devices. A similar arrangement is being organized with also Pennsylvania University for encourage exchange programs, research around these machines. And my brother, honestly, the machines will get, first of all, nobody not get out of the country, no private.
So it means a lot of people will be going to this. Usai we get Connaught.
We'll get na Connaught, they'll get na Kenema.
Okay, which means, you know, a lot of people will be either traveling to Freetown for access and a Connaught, or travel to Kenema for access, and there will be pressure on the system.
No, I think the pressure will not. You go manage them. It's like, if there are emergencies, of course, you can do at any time. But these are devices where you can plan, say, today I'll do 10.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'll do 15. So you can plan it, because not over, like, most of the requests where they come not to, like, emergencies. The emergency cases, the head injuries, the acute abdomen, or some major problems, this way you can always accommodate them. But you forget a list, and people then they send in their requests that you know, you plan them. Say, today they do 10. Tomorrow they do 15. Now, so usually they run these devices.
So the thing where I will ask is now that even the one at Kenema is through the PPP arrangement.
Exactly.
It's about accessibility. You know, we don't get this idea of people traveling out of the country for go get them access the equipment and get medical care. It means you get people them will go stay and people them go get opportunity. What's at the level of affordability and accessibility?
Well, access for now, I think the demand is not yet so high in time, because it's coming up. Most people have to know about it, but with time, I'm sure definitely there's going to be a huge, influx of patients. But you get to manage, like I said, no more.
Okay.
But everybody will get access to them. I'm sure the waiting time will not be more than 48 hours. That we'll try to do, right? In terms of affordability, in terms of cost, because I think that's what you're trying to get at. It therefore be at a very low cost compared to the private sector, because mind you, these equipments have been bought by government. Not of us now person can buy and they can pull the money per. But the thing around it is that this equipment has to be maintained. So you can forget some something they put aside for operator, for make sure, say, you do regular preventive maintenance, you keep them up, the spare parts are bought on time, you forget a readily available amount of fund. Then thirdly, you can also use this platform for establish some fund where you go able to use for buy new equipment. You I mean, the 2 CT scans, okay, not enough.
Yes,
we
exactly.
cover the whole country.
Yeah.
If we want to buy
because
new
like
equipment,
and Freetown no more.
that, I mean, it's a start. But if you want to buy new CT scan, I mean, most start for raise some funds, put something aside. And if we get the amount now, you got to go to government and say, we don't get this, so do you want to top up? You understand that we might be able to do things faster rather than to ask for people to help us all the time. So we are looking at a system where it is self-sustain itself with a very low cost at a cost recovery rate.
One of the things we, me see as very, very common, I mentioned it here, now the bosses.
Yeah.
Because I don't see how people in the health sector, nurses, like you mentioned earlier, somebody will get accident, can struggle like other citizens them for get transportation, the distance within the work. And the bosses, what the idea, because I remember also people begin to talk about maintenance or sustainability. What the idea of the bosses and what is sustainability plan?
Well, both of these areas we don't think about. The bosses, of course, we get 10. So there is a committee, there is a group where they manage their affairs, led by the ministry. We get trained drivers. More look first of all that they drive the most important. Not all man. Some person they go rough them, they bang them, and we get routes that we then apply. Then there's a GPS system attached to it. The fuel consumption will be calculated based on the distance that they cover. Now, we are saying that these buses, we know say it's not easy for people, especially with healthcare workers. So we want to make it so affordable that even if you ever contribute towards the running of the buses, it will be almost negligible. It will be like maybe you just register, you get a card, you top up the card on a monthly basis. So it's a minimal amount for maintain the services of the card and also maybe for support some of the operations. We get 1 year spare parts for them bus there, all broken. I'm telling you, my brother, these buses, they have spare parts where they cover them for 1 year.
Okay.
Then we get operations cost, don't put aside for the first 3 months for provide fuel, for provide basic maintenance. So we need to start now from day one, we begin to say, harass for spend money for, no, that didn't happen. So with all of this kind of plan and for make it a solid program, for making the future, buy more buses, expand on this, we'll go for test this system for so they put in place. We'll see what is the cost of running it and how we'll be able to generate resources for the maintenance. But there is a good plan, and we'll use the warehouse or the maintenance, we ambulances.
Okay.
So we need to get
Hastings?
Now Hastings. We need to upgrade there. We need to build a new shed, a new workshop. We go use there. We get good engineers that would put there. They would put the spare parts. They do preventive maintenance. So we are not perfect, but there is a good thought process around these buses.
Are they functional now? Or?
The buses?
Yeah.
They are, but we now start to roll them out in terms of moving around the city.
Okay.
Because this framework has to be solid before you take it out.
Okay. So Usai get forget the bus?
Of course, not to all sides get. So if you get this amount, you get for prioritize. You get based on the population size, based on the road networks. So Freetown, when at the big urban area, we get 5 buses. Yeah, 2 they come east, 2 they come west. Then 1 get for the around central, and then get for the run the shifts of the duty times of where people then they go work. We walk no day, then for back. Yes, okay. And let it go begin take. No, please, una be away. General public say this bus cannot take me. Una will be away, but one made it that way. Then. And so after you don't get the big city now, the other side we get high population at the regional towns. So we choose McKinney, we choose Connaught, big place. We choose Bo, Kenema, right? So the bus then get for the now then turn then they run, then they take the nurse them and the doctor then they clear then go work, then they clear then go back after work.
Okay. Is there a timeline when then they begin operate, then go down at the street and begin
Yeah,
pick up and
we
down?
are looking at by the end of this month, everything will be in place. Because like I tell you, even the driver themselves, then they go through rigorous training. And what we don't do is that we get the military for help support we, for make sure so we get the people have the right attitude, for man the bosses,
Yeah.
not any careless person. Because the boss, you said, don't see some of them really heavy. So you get forget somebody will understand and you forget some discipline for manage the staff, for manage your location, outside the park, may they not camp well you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the other thing where I know this I listen to the minister and listen to you, it's like providing incentive, helping the nurses for able access and you know, usai they no go worry, no go wake up in the morning begin member say you ever go fetch with you for load na boss as well. But you mentioned something where now about card. Is it that every other nurse we get pin code forget this card for able access the boss?
Well, this is what we are trying to achieve here. At least you forget a unique card and with an identification number on it, where you go just to put them on the bus, they click, you know, for say you don't enter the bus, you move on. You don't need for pay cash in the bus, even if some incentive get for they for make we move this thing. But you know they go begin now because say I not get money today or I not get, so you get your card, you just enter. And that need help with accountability because you got to be digital. With the normal people that use the bus and would I use them and who say go. You know, it really help a lot. So I think that's the system what they put in place. We're on the process of finalizing how we do it, but this is what is intended.
Okay. Doc, I want to talk about, you know, primary health care. And you talk about one my colleague gets an accident. I read within a right yesterday. He say go get accident na keke and a wound serious one. But fortunately for him, he go na Regent the clinic there.
Okay.
And then treat him. And when he go na treat him later, the doctor will see him, praise, you know, the way how they get that first treatment there. And was even saying in wish na so then go train other people them na different places. So it show she was trying to explain how important you know that first level where they go now community will feel sikusa will go and go see important before until we go na the referral hospital. How una they strengthen that aspect day of health services. Now the communities, who side force the belly woman they go. The mame way sick who side force it they go. Who side then the cake picking and go demand themselves who side then they go.
Well, you're right. It's very, very important that the first contact is something that is pleasurable or something you don't get problem from. Because sometimes if they go treat you by themselves, upstream, nothing for do. So it's really important that that point is really up to speed. So we also invest a lot of time and resources to ensure that we bring up the primary healthcare units. If you look around the country, there are so many primary healthcare units that now don't renovate because one of the problems we get was that they have been built, but the infrastructure was going down. So they renovate them and they equip them. If you go to this place they call Bundapi, talk to the community in Pujon district, or you go to Yengema, talk to the people. The primary healthcare units they hold on, but they are up to speed and they are doing a good job. But we not only left the primary healthcare units as an entity in its own, without networking them with the secondary and tertiary structures through the referral networks. So we get the hubs and spokes model of service delivery or the rollout that each and every primary healthcare unit forget a hub at a secondary or tertiary level where they use as a referral center. And that hub will provide direct oversight function to that primary level in terms of training them, in terms of supporting them, and having protocols for referral and understanding the challenges they are faced with. So if you network the two and then you work very closely, most of the issues they would get in terms of late referrals, poor management in the health facilities at the primary level, no go occur. We even think the doctors and the senior people should not only be in the hospitals. Once in a while, you do outreach. You go to the primary healthcare units, you support the CHOs, the nurses, when I work together, you see and identify their challenges, help work on their protocols. And so This kind
in
of
terms of value
model
and
of care,
attention, who side the primary healthcare system sit on? Because, like you say, like we agree, it's very important. Who side sit on na the ministry?
Now the backbone. It's the backbone for healthcare delivery for obvious reason. Now, most of the people in the camp, first of all, right? And if you're able to do a good primary healthcare system, it's very close with the communities. And some of the diseases would even land at the hospital, not go land because they prevent them through community engagements, through sensitization, like people that will get hypertension, diabetes, waiting for people that will get some disease early detection so that we take them out before it become a big problem, how for prevent kidney disease, how for make sure so you not get into a point where you need dialysis. So a lot of emphasis is on this so that you go on the preventive arm and early detection as well as access in the community. So the primary health care is the backbone. That's why most of our health facilities in this country are at primary health care level. You have now the secondary and tertiary because if the primary level fails, the safety net is the secondary and tertiary. And that also has to be up to speed. Why we've been having some challenges, because of some quality issues or some issues before this time, people were bypassing the primary level and coming directly to the secondary and tertiary with simple things. So we want to change that. We want to bring the quality back in those centers so people don't need to move all the way and bypass that system to come to us.
How the ministry they try for build trust? Most times if you talk to people about health care, they will tell you say, then go ask me for glove. I'm sure I don't get them complaint. I remember I've been there at the event on a get and when people have been there, even the nurses were complaining about supplies, availability of them, things they are on time. And if you talk to people, I'm sure I'll be reading some messages. People will tell you about issues of then go ask, tell and say pay this, you get for tip this. And in a system we get this understanding, say, especially for women, pregnant women and children under 5, it's free health care. But then get for asking for buy them thing and where they affect trust in the healthcare system. How would they affect for bill than they in terms of personnel, their own relationship with the people and with the Canada hospital?
Well, trust is it's not something forced. It therefore we built on evidence. It therefore we built on lived experiences. It therefore we built on accountability. So now that's what we do right now. We're trying to be accountable. We are trying to create lived experience for people to come and have contact with our facility. And like we brother talked to, but this story where you say go to primary healthcare. If you explain that to somebody else, the person not go afraid for go the next time. So this is the kind of things we're doing. But over and beyond that, there's a strategy. Like if you recently we didn't have the program, or say we do the 300 days of activism for have 0 preventable maternal death, 0 preventable under 5 death, and 0 dose vaccinated children. And one of the key things around it is to make sure that we have the supplies, people don't sell drugs, people don't take fees for services that are not supposed to be paid for, and people provide compassionate care in our health facilities, meaning our healthcare workers. So this campaign is going on. Under your watch, every health worker has declared that under my watch, I will do everything possible to give a patient a good experience, including preventable deaths, right? So this is what is going on, and we are hoping that within these 300 days, we'll be able to show the public that, we mean it, and when you come to our facilities, things have changed drastically by injecting this new level
of mechanism. Because if I go to hospital, somebody they under stress and then tell and say, most times you can say, if they ask you not pay, but if I come with patients and I'm under stress and they ask me, say, you need to buy glove, you need to buy this medicine, I have an option, I go Phenom. And what's in the internal redress mechanism where people go understand, say, if somebody asks you for this not pay, go complain and hold them accountable. Now, if even you pay, you can come and complain this way. I remember the last time we talked about a toll line, I think it was with the minister.
Yes, the toll line has been developed. It's with the Directorate of Hospital and Ambulance Services. They will share it to the public. But there is somebody, even yesterday I was trying to test if it is good before we start, proper dissemination. if you have a problem, if you have a situation, you can use this line and you can call and report. What we also want to do is for hospitals to have clear service charter. You know, when you go to some hospitals, you don't know what you're supposed to pay for and what not.
Yeah.
So there is no transparency in that. So if you have, like, some hospitals do have it now, but not all. You go, you see, okay, cesarean section free. You know, PQAD under 5, all in management are free. Antenatal services are free. Then the rest now we pay for, there is a charge associated with it. If we don't have the supplies, there's a cost recovery pharmacy where you can buy drugs at a reasonable rate without leaving the hospital, right? So I think this is the system we are trying to
How
put in
would they
place.
take stock that if you supply glove na this hospital, if you take this time, if you don't, you know, need for ask the patient for can buy glove, you for report and get glove back. How would self they monitor within and ensure say, I remember we reported on the McKinney Government Hospital and the toilet facility there, where my colleagues sent to me. I was like, somebody there went ahead. How will they take responsibility for ensure say the health facility work? How will they reprimand and hold people accountable?
Well, a very good point is, you know, we as a Ministry of Health, some of us are the headquarters. So you have your people, you delegate functions, so down to the level of the primary, down to the list facility. So people should be held accountable for their actions. And some of the things we got back from them is that some of them were not ready and they were not properly orientated for the responsibilities they have been performing. So there are lapses in their institutions which are occurring, which is because of poor leadership, poor management. So what we did is we brought all of them together, all the medical superintendents, all the matrons, hospital secretaries, and we link them up now with University of Global Health Equity for leadership training. And we've started that, and we've done the first, the first weeks of intensive training, and 9 months of this will follow through online training to improve. First of all, how do you manage your staff? Human resource management. How do you manage your commodities? How do you preempt stockouts? How do you ensure that you have a proper inventory of all the supplies you have in your facility? How do you use the digital tools that are being provided to you, like M-Supply, in your facility? If people are not using it, what are you doing against it, right? I don't want to hear at you building or the minister or any of the top leaders that the gloves are not available. You should know. You, as the medical superintendent on the ground, should know and do what is necessary for you to have the requisite gloves, right? So how do you engage community? How do you work on sustainable health financing models? If the available resources that are given to you are not always enough, what do you do to maintain certain standard of care in the hospital? We see those medical superintendents, those people who are doing it, they are doing a good job. They always have things available and they talk to people nicely and people understand some of the charges they have to pay extra for some of the things that are possibly not available. So what we've identified as a big problem usually in this is how do we enhance the leaderships we have in our institutions. Most of these issues don't need to come to us if the systems out there are ready, because they are the ones facing. But that's why we're also empowering them with the skills they need. We are training them. We are trying to support them through additional resources that can be. Even now, you saw what happened last week. For the first time, we gave the hospitals utility vehicles. This was a problem. I mean, if they need to transport oxygen from one hospital to the other, they had no vehicles. So we bought these vehicles. We gave them, Freetown had, then the regions they also had. So these are the things we are trying to do to improve and reduce on these concerns.
We got some questions, I'll read them quickly. This first one from my FMT. So the Ministry of Health appears to be heavily centered around doctors, often overlooking the contribution of other healthcare cadres. For example, according to existing policy, staff at grade 9 and above are entitled to fair allocation. However, in practice, this benefit seems to be disproportionately extended to doctors, while other qualified professionals are frequently excluded. They say this imbalance raises concerns about equity, morale, and the recognition of multidisciplinary nature of healthcare delivery. All cadres play critical roles in the health system. Another one say all referral hospitals are independent, 24 hours electricity. That's massive improvement in the health sector. Somebody they ask, how will these machines be effective and functional when there is no constant electricity in some places? Kindly ask the medical officer what is their relationship with the Jewish government hospital, who is currently managing that operation, and how are they planning to rehabilitate the structure. Another one say, if you go to health facilities, it's different from what usually the bosses speak on the media. Everyone wants something from you. The moment you enter, even if someone is dying, they will ask you for money. The final one I'll take is this equipment needs to be sustained and handled with care. Does this mean this will reduce traveling to places like Ghana? Doc, we get some of their message and they possibly you can respond to them.
Yes, thank you very much. I mean, these are all valid concerns. And the first point that I mean, the ministry is highly centered around doctors. It might look like that sometimes, but that's not the case, because a lot is happening for the other cadre. You know, the fuel allocation thing between the different cadre has been sorted out. The Office of the Permanent Secretary is working closely with Ministry of Finance so that everybody who's entitled, who's above a specific grade that is prescribed by government, irrespective of your cadre, you get the fuel allocation. If you look at the number of training opportunities that have been rolled out to the nurses also all over the country, the opening of new midwifery schools, the support of training programs for the community health workers at Masanga, at the School of Clinical Sciences in McKinney. It's about upgrading these other people, lab technician courses going. Even now, we have, for the first time, opened the biomedical engineering unit, and we've sent them to do a diploma course at College of Medicine. This is something that never used to happen. So these are cadre that we need, but we also need to provide the necessary capacity for them to do their work. So a lot is going on that side to support them and ensure that even the bosses, these bosses, the majority of the beneficiaries will be the nurses. The doctors, they are not even many to use the bus, but our main intention was for the nurses to get to work in dignity, right? Of course, other health workers like the community health workers and others. So a lot is also coming their way. Constant electricity, we cannot say we can have constant electricity, but I mean, the electricity situation in the country generally has improved, let's say that. But what we've done is that in some of these facilities, most of them, we have solar solutions.
Okay.
Like, for example, a hospital like Connaught, there has a 1.2 megawatt solar installed. I mean, that's a big thing. PCMH, Oladurin combined, they have close to 600. We have even the Maternal Center of Excellence we are building in Connaught, a state-of-the-art hospital. It's going to have a 500 kVA. Bo has about 300, Kenima has about 300, McKinney has about 300 kVA. All over, Cambia, Kabbalah, all of these hospitals, they have energy solution. But for the points where we've installed these high-end devices, we are really concerned that we have the requisite electricity.
Exactly.
So they have a backup system.
Yeah.
They have a backup system with generators. And then a second backup is the UPS installations that are there, which are like energy reserve houses. So if there is if light goes off, the machine doesn't turn off immediately. So it has about 15 to 20 minutes before the examination is done, and you can turn the machine. So if you go to Connaught, we can show you a whole room with big UPS devices. Then apart from that, both of these facilities, Connaught and Kenima, they also have solar solution. So if the national grid is not working, we can revert to the solar solution. And a place like Kenima, we've given them a new transformer because they used to have a problem with the community light. So now they have their own transformer specific for that hospital, so that their own lights will not be tampered with by, other systems. They have their own transformer now, so they'll be getting that kind of elect. So there's a lot of work going on that. With Jue Hospital, Jue China Friendship, Sierra Leone China Friendship Hospital is a unique hospital in the model. So what we've done is that recently we have an MOU with the Chinese government that we're going to refurbish it and establish that hospital as a center of excellence for advanced trauma care as well as cardiology and ophthalmology. Funds are already been secured, and so we're going to come out with a package. I don't want to go too far into that, but there are plans for it. And what we're asking the community is to support us, especially to ensure that the environs of the hospital are not tampered with. People don't deposit their waste there. The parking space there is reserved for as the hospital property. People asking for money from hospitals is some of the things we're really against, and we really want evidence. What we've been having is most people say, "Doctor, this is not going to work." Where we go out there, we ask, "Okay, tell me who took money from me." People are afraid. I know sometimes they're intimidated by certain situations. So we are putting in place a system. We are putting at some service delivery points now, cameras, CCTV cameras, to be observing and giving us some footages, and also to do on-the-spot checks, so that we go and surprise people and see if we can be able to mix. And if somebody is caught doing this, my brother, I'm telling you, there are going to be serious consequences, right? Because we're really against it. We've seen in several situations how this can affect service delivery and delay in management, and we are completely against it. For the sustainability of these devices, I already explained that. We are not just centralizing it around the ministry, but we have an arrangement with Columbia University and with AMI, ICAP, and the Ministry of Health to make sure that we have a sustainable way of managing these devices.
Yes, we get a few questions as well. I'll let you take them. This one says, Dr. Kaba, you mentioned the issue of cost recovery in hospitals. Could you please clarify which hospitals have begun implementing the cost recovery system? Another one says, please, can the Deputy Clinical Director explain the following? Patients are paying nursing and doctors directly. Why the doctors and nurse directly ask patients and their families to buy specific medicine at pharmacies, specific pharmacies, they say. What are nurses allowed to sell? What medicine are nurses allowed to sell in the wards? Please, could you explain why healthcare practitioners are quick to prescribe drip to patients without following any prerequisite investigation? Recently, a healthcare institution gave drip to a grandmother that led to a death.
I think these are concerns, and that's why I like coming out, or that's why we like coming out. And when you come out, you really see, because all of what we are talking, all of what we are talking, my brother, it ends up with the patient going there and having a good experience. So cost recovery, we have cost recovery PPP pharmacies with, first of all, we have at Connaught, and we also have at Bow and Kenema. We're also trying to bring in the cost recovery systems in hospitals like PCMH, right? Where usually there are challenges with these drugs, and have it rolled out in McKinney, and of course Connaught doesn't need. You have the PIH that's doing a fantastic job there, but other hospitals will definitely benefit from cost recovery models. The agencies are working on it so that we have them established completely. Payment to doctors, this should not be done. But how do we tackle this problem if sometimes we do not have the exact names and people? I just want a small video. A small
but sometimes
thing.
Some people they're under stress.
I know. They're under stress. But what we're doing is we advise, we talk to people, don't do it. Right? And we cannot be there when these transactions are taking place. We need to have evidence. If people seated on the table all agree that this is not going to go out, it doesn't go out. So the third party coming in should really help us a bit more with clarity. Who did you give it? What time? Who was the person? And how much was given? We're also doing our own operations. If I go there, believe me, the other day somebody told me They are paying for services. I called. Nobody said, no. And the patient received free services. Nobody asked that patient to pay for anything. Right? So our systems are being established so that we can track these things and get down to the bottom of it properly and handle them. That's why the 300 days activism, we're using all our human resource as well as the strategies we have to reduce this drip. I mean, he's right. I mean, that's why we're bringing in devices so that people can be able to diagnose diseases well. You know, I cannot just start giving a tap medication. You come, you're feeling, you have fever. So that means I should give you malaria treatment? There are so many things that causes fever.
Yeah.
I start giving you malaria, it doesn't work, then I guess. I give you antibiotics, it doesn't work. I go, okay, let me give you vitamins. What's happening? You are guessing. So these people are not the skilled people who are doing that. So the skilled, highly qualified people will not do. They will go first and diagnose and come to a treatment plan before they treat you. And people also in the community should not go there. Go to the right places. Go to the hospitals. Don't allow people to hang drips in your homes. Don't go to those small shops or pharmacies and because there are so many other risks associated with it. You know, there is something we call air embolus. If by giving that drip, a little amount of volume of air enters into that drip and gets into your bloodstream, it can cause an air embolus. It can cause embolism. You can have respiratory distress and you can die. If that fluid going into your body is not properly done and there's some infection coming in through your skin, then that infection gets into your bloodstream. You can have sepsis. You understand? If that drip that is given to you is not the right kind of drip you should have, it can lead to death. So you, the patient, also should be aware that I choose where I go, I choose who I communicate with, and I choose the kind of treatment. I understand what is happening to me.
How do they work with the medical and dental council also? If you watch around, Doc, you see a lot of health facilities, this hospital, and sometimes the places they where they. You imagine which kind service and they will provide. And because of accessibility or trust, other people and they go quick.
Yeah. I mean, it's an issue which we are working very hard with the Medical and Dental Council to step up its supervision and go out and also the registration of these facilities. How are they being registered? What are the guidelines? What are the protocols? For us, we see them coming up, and then we ask what happened, and we check. Okay, then we say, okay, let's shut this one down. Right? But the process of registration, of getting them into service, to be close to the people and give them the license to practice, I think that is something we really have to work on very hard and make sure it's more stringent. And the Medical and Dental Council should be really out there supervising after they have been registered. Are they doing the right thing?
Yeah.
I mean, who's working there? Is this person?
Because it's part of the healthcare system.
It is. But the regulatory arms are also independent to do their work. We don't want to influence them too much. We supervise them.
Yeah, but you know, doc, when things go bad, then they come and say, I go to hospital.
Exactly.
And they not treat me well. Me person die in hospital.
Exactly.
The whole healthcare system get the bad name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we are after them. We are pushing them to do their work. But there are certain mandates they have to fulfill it. If it's not working, we have to find a way for it to work. Rather than just assume that role and start doing it, it becomes a problem.
There's this proliferation of medicine again. If you go Lumley, doc, you one tablet, it depends over how many sick. You hear a speaker.
Yeah.
They play the people believe in them, they buy, they go, then they take them. You know, all their issues and days. Is this something they work with pharmacy board and other agencies and for others?
Exactly. Recently, the pharmacy board, the director of pharmaceutical services, go out, do some raid, capture some people, and took them into custody, and they are being apprehended for the crimes they committed. But the whole thing is that what is the issue currently is the Pharmacy Board Act, wherein some of the fines that are levied on these people is almost negligible. It's something you cannot, so the person can come and do them back, right? So we are trying to work with them closely to change the act and have stronger, penalties for people who are defaulters. Yeah.
Okay. Finally, Doc, there's this report recently on Channel 4, now the BBC, where a report we then do na the I think na PCMH or during or so, where they look at how donor funding from the UK government actually they help with free health care and maternal mortality. But that is closing.
Yeah.
We all know what is happening in the world with donor funds and all. How the ministry they prepare itself, for take over this, because if the UK government pull out, now then they help we for buy medicine and supplies, we get for buy and all that stuff. Then how are we preparing?
Well, it's a whole government effort. It's not the ministry alone, because it has financial implications on the budgetary allocations to the Ministry of Health. So we have presented this, and we are making a strong advocacy to the government and, of course, the Ministry of Finance to improve on the allocations, especially to fill in the gap that is being created. But first of all, we also have some other people who are coming on board who are saying, okay, now this is happening. How can we help? How can we help? And these people are very serious.
And within the 300 days of activism.
Yes, and so we are going to receive some help through these people, that we will not say complete gaps will be completely closed, but there will be substantial support to fill in that gap. And then thirdly, for me, it's an opportunity for us to understand how are we delivering healthcare in a streamlined fashion based on what we need. We don't just say, okay, we buy all these drugs and put them out there, and we see some of them are not, being used, some of them are expiring, or, so how do we really make sure that we streamline our operations to make sure that we only use and procure what we need? And how are we going to be using internally generated revenue to sustain healthcare? How are we going to bring in the health insurance scheme to support the vulnerable groups, to support the underprivileged, so that at least some funds are generated through an insurance scheme, which you can be able to put aside to buy your drugs without going to USAID. This is the approach I think the ministry is really looking at. How do you have a system that is at least, in the most cases, relying on itself in terms of what it can generate locally, in terms of how it streamlines its processes, in terms of being accountable, and in terms of being, smart in what we're doing currently.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Kaba, for speaking to us this morning. Which message of hope and, with all these investments, have been said the other day, we have also need for handle, especially the bosses with care. It comes with some level of responsibility as much as government they invest, because we go on for see them boss and we add the number and then still long, on our streets. Which message you go and live with the public and as well healthcare workers?
For me, I think this is a very defining moment for us in the country, and a lot has been done. And we get a very strong leadership at the ministry for make sure, we address issues in a systematic way. Everybody for do what they're supposed to do. To healthcare workers, just continue to do your work professionally and make sure work in the interest of the patients. And the government and the ministry will continue to do its best for improve on situations of work. To the population, I think it's very good for my people then get some level of understanding as to what is available now in this country, where you can go and seek services and have some form of confidence in the system that we're building and test the system. If there are things that are not going on well, let us just have the information. And it can be anonymous. You don't need to show yourself. But we need the right information to make the right decision. But honestly, I think this is one of the best times I've seen in this country in terms of healthcare delivery, and I'm happy to be part of it. We are happy that the media, Lamrana and you guys are also supporting the efforts in trying to ensure that we have access to the population and talk to them. We also kindly encourage you also to use your status and your position in society to continue to disseminate the good things that are happening. If there are bad things, let us also.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're doing that. Very recently, somebody go on a bond now one side You see a video, bring and come to our attention. We interviewed him here. Somebody from the ministry reach out and take responsibility. Say it has come to our attention.
Yes.
When I go see how I go in and address.
Definitely.
So as I always say, government alone no go do them. I no get now salon doctor them now me paddy and then they teach we sick now we paddy them. Young people we don't study in this country, don't go over, see the opportunity, come back and they work now. We all now we paddy them then now we fumble and then at the health. I day one side one day and somebody they tell a parent say, can you picking go na da hospital na Lumley? He say na there the care me picking go and then they treat them well. That is like what you would say. It builds trust because in go they get a very good service, a good experience. They recommend and to other person. If it works well, we all the benefits. If it poor, now we all it affect. So let we all play we own part. We go all the ministry accountable, so for all them accountable, and we go support them as we don't do side for support them. And I think there needs to be more public education and awareness. Let people know it in there and get the confidence for going at the facility and get the service. Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Kabaude. Take a quick break. They can join a live link shortly. Uside the moral guarantors and they meet with the chief minister and other government ministers. And continue for stay with you.
Dreams travel. One of the best pan travel business na the country, they come up back this year with Electoral excursion 2026. They take we direct to Thailand. Lord Daddy, beautiful country, nice country, sweet country. And they tell you, they want the way don't work out with Dorim. No say they sabi handle and customer them. And Dorim, they give value for money. Electoral excursion 2026 to Thailand go be from August 15 so till August 29 for just $6,000 no more. Where inside there you get hotel accommodation, air ticket, airport pickup and drop off. Then go carry go waka. Now all the fine places in Thailand. But I tell you, this is superb value for money. No waste time again. Call them now and make you booking and arrange how you want for pay. Call them now 099 009 249 or 076 578 448. Don't forget to Electoral excursion 2026 na Thailand from August 15 to August 29 for just 6,000 normal. Thailand, we did a road, we dey come.
Salon at 65. The Salon people, Salon they turn 65 years after independence and the celebration is hitting the plate. So, me people, make we join the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, the National Tourist Board, the Monuments and Relics Commission, and the Tourism and Hospitality Private Sector as we celebrate Salon at 65. The journey through gastronomy, culture, and creativity. Mark the date from the 25th of April to the 26th of April 2026. We will take over Jijibota car park from 11 o'clock in the morning till the next day because we'll forget display of different kind of art and culture. Come one, come all. Come and celebrate our local heritage. Experience live cooking with unique signature dishes. Enjoy food tasting competition and plenty other things but culinaries. Art and culture, sculpture, painting, designs, comedy, artistic performance, and plenty more. After the cultural performances, you don't forget kite flying. Therefore, do the painting right in front of you. Car racing, exhibition, and plenty other activities there. With a call on every Sierra Leonean can be part of the celebration. The best part, entrance is free from the 25th of April to the 26th of April 2026. We will take over Jijibota car park. See you there.
Come back, respect your own culture. The Ministry of Tourism and Tourist Board, they plan activities. Hopefully we'll forget the minister now for talk about them plans. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get Mohamed Kalon na the program and we really look forward to that for discuss the issue around Leon Star. But now then the program this morning, many thanks to we guests this morning, Professor Fredlin, Albert Masakoy, and Dr. Mustafa for joining us this morning for get a conversation about what's in the happen at the health sector as well. There are challenges, and we all recognize that, but we all for help for build the health system. Would they ask you for money if you're able expose? I know it's tough, because when you go, you stress one. Somebody they ask you all you care about now forget health care. But with government, waiting government they invest so now we all money. If you see person they handle and bad, person they do waiting bad, raise concern. Because if it well, now government will get a back for go fair another one. So we'll meet back tomorrow. We connect to a live link where the Chief Minister, Dr. David Moina Senge, they meet with the moral guarantors and other government officers. Them continue for stay with we a close immediately after this. We go pull up the live link. They continue for stay with Street Media. Have a lovely day.